Welcome to Mind Your Business podcast. Bart, it's been a minute. Alan, welcome back, Alan.
Oh, yeah.
Man's back on the board. Bart, you're back and looking good, man.
Thank you.
Welcome back, man. It's been a minute.
I think it's been more like 10 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a while. But I'll tell you what. The podcast that we have for you this evening, this morning, this afternoon, whenever you're listening to it, Twilight's back. You know, we're all back in action. But whenever you're listening to this, if you're a Cleveland County native and you're a fan of football, this is the podcast you want to be listening to today.
Yep.
Because we got 2 state champions, Alan.
Yes.
Two state champions. From one county. That really doesn't happen that often. It has happened in Cleveland County a couple times, but it's still special to talk about. We're going to get right into it. The first guest that we have tonight is the Crest Chargers, their state champion. We have Coach Greg Lloyd and the quarterback Ely Hamrick. How you doing, guys?
Yeah, we're doing good.
Doing well. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. It's awesome to be here. I just want to kind of jump right into it. I mean, we've had about a month since you played the game now. We went through the holidays. We started out the new year. Have you had time to process it? And what are your thoughts about the game and just everything about the season?
That's a great question.
I've kind of processed it a little bit. It did take a little while. It's finally set in a little bit. I'm just really proud of our team. It was a great year. We really earned it by how we played in the playoffs. But it's hard to believe it's been almost a month since the game, and Hunt was a very tough opponent. But I do feel like we played a pretty good ball game that night. I was really tickled with the kids and how we performed on both sides of the ball. And Eli here played a fantastic game that night as well. But I'm sure he'll brag on his teammates. But Eli, he performed at a high level that night.
Eli, talking about the game itself, like I said, it's been about a month since you played it. That was your final game of your high school career. We'll get into your collegiate career here in just a little bit and what the next steps are for you. But looking at that game itself, I mean, you went 17 for 25 for 233. You rushed the ball for 95 yards. You were the second leading rusher in the game as far as for Crest. How would you just kind of talk about your performance overall? Like, we could talk about you for a second. And before you start talking, don't give me the quarterback talk. We're free game here. You ain't in a press conference. This is all you, man.
Sure.
So let's talk about it.
I mean, it was we kind of started out a little rocky, but kind of got things together. We had a bunch of. We had one play I remember particularly. We were backed up on our own end zone. We kind of sent up a prayer on fourth down, threw it, and I threw a go ball to Maje, and he made a good play on the ball, caught it right over the shoulder. And that's kind of when the momentum kind of shifted towards us. And we met. Pluto had a good catch in there, had some good blocks that allowed me to have some good runs during that game. So it was really just a really good team effort.
Yeah,
that game.
Yeah, 100%. And I was going to reference that play that you're talking about. The play before that, I mean, you guys are backed up in your own end zone. You almost get a safety. You're able to get out of the end zone. And then, Coach Lloyd, you're the one calling the plays, correct?
I do.
So, in your mindset, when you call that play in, are you in the mindset of knowing, like, I have the talent to do this, and let's show them what we're really about?
Well, I have tremendous confidence in our team and all our players. And the situation was this. I believe it was third down and long. I mean, it was third and 14 or 15 for a first down. And, they were kind of playing man coverage on Maje out wide, and we'll take our chances with that. And Eli usually gets the ball out pretty quick, and he usually is pretty accurate. And when that was as good a chance as any, and we made a play. And it, like we always say, players over plays. and we had some players there to make a good play, and that was really the biggest play of the game because, like Eli said, we got off to a little bit of a rough start, but credit to Hunt for that. But we needed a little momentum, and that play kind of turned the tide. And from then on, I thought we controlled the game.
Yeah, you talk about that play changing the tide. Eli, how important is it to you to have that kind of trust with your guys on the outside, with your playmakers, being able to just, you know what, I'm going to trust my guy to go make a play for me. I'm going to put the ball where it needs to be, and my guy's going to do the rest.
I mean, it's huge, and I think that's why you have practice every day, and so just building trust with those guys is. I mean, it's hard to go out there and just throw to a bunch of receivers you've never met or never thrown to, and so building chemistry and building camaraderie with those guys it's really important. Just having the timing of the routes, how far to throw it, when to throw it, knowing the speed of the guys it all. It's a game of inches, and so you miss a guy by 6 inches, it's a gain of 0 yards. It's not. He almost caught it, so. I think it's really important to just have trust in your guys and know that they're going to go out there and make a play for you.
Eli makes a great point because these kids have been working. All these guys have been out there since the last week of April. So you're talking 7 months of football, and it comes down to one Saturday night, and they have practiced and practiced and practiced, and they throw go balls all the time in practice, and that's why they get out there and do it. And we had the opportunity, and those guys made the play.
Yeah, absolutely.
Guys, most of the time, it seems like when you talk to people and talk about winning and championships and great seasons, most teams or coaches will say, hey, we had a break here, or we got a lucky play here, or we got a lucky bounce, or got a turnover at the right time. Would you say there was a point in the season where, hey, we got to break this game, and that gave us momentum to win it?
Go ahead, Eli.
I would say it's less of a break, but more of I wouldn't say that there was really a point in our season where we caught a break. I would say it's more we lost 2 games this season to Hunt and Ashbrook, or to Ashbrook and Weddington, and I think that really pushed the team. Just knowing that I think that we were probably the better team, at least in one, if not both of those games. Just knowing that we probably should have came out there and won it, but just came out there flat and didn't play our best, and that's kind of what motivated us to just play our best football. Because whenever we're playing our best football, I don't know that anybody on our schedule could beat us.
That's a good answer.
And to piggyback on it, I do think Eli makes a good point. After the Ashbrook loss, we definitely were a different team. We played much better football after that Friday night. We went to Kings Mountain the next week. It was a big, big win for us that night, 70-0. It was just we were hit on all cylinders that night. And that really, it just kind of gave us a shot in the arm. It really did. And then we played really good, and then we played good the rest of the way. The South Point game was a little bit of a struggle in the playoffs. That's not an easy place to play, but we ended up winning that one by a couple of scores, and just tickled with how we played after that Ashbrook game.
Continuing to kind of talk about that in the course of the season, you have your ups, you have your downs. That's just what football is all about. It's life. It's one of the greatest games to kind of choreograph what life is in general, but you talk about the ups and downs, and as a fan, and just as a person in the media are looking at the Ashbrook game, I think that truly was the turning point, because you look at Weddington, and you could have been better. Weddington's a good football team.
Oh, they're
no doubt
team.
about it. Ashbrook's a good football team. But the Ashbrook game, I think, even on paper, you size them up, Crest was the better team all the way around. And to lose that game and then to see how y'all bounce back the very next to play not only a conference rival, but also an in-county rival. And just to absolutely dominate Kings Mountain, your former school, really was, again, one of those turning points in the season for you guys. And it goes to a testament of coaching and players kind of responding to that. Adversity. It's not always about how many times you get knocked down, but how many times you get back up, and that's something to attest for. And that's what you got to have when you're pursuing a state title. So
no doubt, we had the talent to get it done this year, but you're going to have some things happen during a long season, and we bounced back nicely after that game. It was not easy, but I tell you, we had a good group of seniors, and they had some goals, and they had set forth for their team, and they did a good job of kind of keeping that train on the tracks, and they did a good job, especially from that point on.
Eli, you threw for right at 3,000 yards this season. You threw for 29-19 and for 19 touchdowns and only had 7 interceptions. I mean, what do you
threw for more touchdowns?
29, I believe. 29.
29, excuse me, 29 touchdowns. I read it wrong. My bad.
I can feel it bubbling in these.
Eli's like, well,
he wouldn't have said it, but I went.
You better give me 10 more. So, I mean, you threw for 29, had 7 interceptions. I mean, what do you attest to that for your success this season?
I mean, I give a lot of credit just to the coaching staff. Obviously give credit to God, but a lot of the credit to the coaching staff and my receivers. My dad was a receivers coach this year, so I give a lot of credit to him, just getting them ready to play, running the right routes. Because earlier in the season, I think we struggled a little bit with running the right routes consistently and catching the ball consistently, but kind of working with them and being consistent. Credit to the receivers, obviously, too, for putting in the work to do it. But, I mean, they progressed, I progressed, and like the coaches and the people around me, I couldn't have done it without them.
Yeah, and speaking of your dad, I mean, he played at Crest in 1994. He won the state title. So really 31 years later, you get to follow in the footsteps and do the same thing. How cool was that moment on the field after the final whistle blow, the clock hit 0, the title was you guys? How cool was that moment between you and your dad?
I mean, it was awesome. It's something that I've dreamt about since I knew what Crest High School football is all about. And, it's not necessarily the way we drew it up about getting here, but it's always been a dream of mine to win a state championship at Crest. And to win it and have those dreams come to fruition where it was something special.
Yeah.
When do you guys get your state rings?
I think it'll be early March, a couple months.
Be a really cool picture of you and your dad together.
Oh, yeah.
Like holding up your rings. And
That'd be awesome.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Right.
How many games you guys end up playing this year to win the state? How many total games?
15.
That's what I thought, 15 games. That's pretty much – that used to be an NFL schedule. I mean, that's a college schedule if you go the distance. I mean, how exhausting is it?
It's very exhausting. And like I said, we start in April, so we're in spring practice in May, June and July, summer workouts, August, September, October, November, and then into December playing games. We had 15 games, 2 jamborees, 2 bye weeks built in, plus 2 weeks of preseason. It's pretty much 21 weeks once August come around. So it is a grind, and that's part of it too. You got to be able to have folks that once you get down into the playoffs, they still got a lot of juice left. They still want to try to win, and they got to, because it is not easy. It is not easy, and that's. I wish we could bottle that up and figure that out every year to keep everybody motivated late in the year like that. But it's not like playing August and September games when you get down into Thanksgiving and after. It's a grind.
I guess everybody's kind of bruised up, sore.
They are.
A little bit.
They're mentally fatigued is the main thing. It's just it's the monotony of practice and going out there every single day. You're playing once a week, but you're practicing all the time, and so it takes a lot. And like I said, our kids, they just bought in and they had a goal and they reached it, and I couldn't be more proud of them.
It's important to not lose focus on that. I mean, a lot of people talk about all the highlights that we see on Friday nights and in the state championship game, but that all happens before the actual game, the details, the paying attention to the goal balls and practice, and making sure the routes are on time. You're throwing the ball. You're figuring out your receivers' time, their speed, and how they get to the routes and that kind of thing. All of that is just, like you said, 7 months going into and leading to one night that you hopefully get there with the talent and maybe even a little bit of luck here and there. But getting to that ultimate prize of winning the state title, and guys, you did that. Talking about the playoffs, Eli, you finish up the last game of the regular season, and then the rankings and the seedings come out. All right, and we get the seedings, and we see boom, in the Class A division, it's South Point number 1, and then we go down. You got 2, 3, and then finally you guys get there at the number 4 seed. As a fan, anybody looking at that was like, what and how? How did you guys respond to that in the locker room as players and be like, man, we beat these guys? And, the only 2 teams that we lost to was Weddington and Ashbrook, who are completely in another classification. How are we sitting at the 4 seed and South Point, a team that we beat, is sitting at the 1 seed?
I mean, it didn't make much sense to us, but, I mean, it was out of our control and we couldn't do really anything about it. And so we kind of just didn't. We tried not to think about it as much. So we played our first game at home, and then we kind of just went on. Who was after?
East Lincoln. And
then second game at home, we played East Lincoln, and then we went to South Point. But I mean, playing at South Point is obviously a challenge, but it's still 22 guys on a field playing against each other, and so that's kind of how we saw it. We didn't see it as, well, the odds are stacked against us, blah blah blah. We beat these guys once. I mean, we kind of just said it's 22 guys, and it's the same game of football that we've been playing for our whole life. And so we just said we're the better team. We're going to go out here and we're going to show it.
I like what you say there. 22 guys been playing a game since you were little, right? And sometimes you just got to simplify it. At the end of the day, you just have to simplify it. You know what you're doing. You know how to execute. It's just going out there and actually doing it. So,
no doubt. Yes, I will say this. I'm not speaking for South Point, but I'll speak for Crest. We like playing South Point. That's great competition. Our players like playing them, and I think it's probably vice versa. It is good competition, and they seemed excited when they were going to get to go play them again. So, I was like, oh man, that's a tough draw, but it was okay because we've had some success against them, and last year they beat us by 1 point down there. Then we beat them at home this year pretty good margin, and then so we liked our chances, but we also knew it was going to be a tough test. But I thought it was good for us to go down there and get a win. I thought that even gave us more confidence.
Yeah, Eli, when you're talking about that, we got a couple more questions for you, and then we'll have something special for you guys before we get you out of here. Eli, we know you got some other arrangements that you have to do. Talk about your collegiate career here in a little bit too. But talking about going into South Point, do you guys, as coaches, it's always hard to beat a team twice. Because you're familiar with it and all that stuff. What's the mindset for players going when you're facing a team again? Like, you've already seen this team once. Is it, we got to be more prepared because maybe they throw something else at us differently? Or what's that mindset for players?
Sure. I mean, it's similar to a coach's mindset where, I mean, we were aware that beating a good team twice is obviously a tall task, but I mean, like I said, it just boils down to 22 guys on a field playing the games that we've been playing since we were little. And that's obviously the simplified version, but we expected South Point to come out and do something that they've always done. They kind of mixed it up and sent pressure and stunned it on our O-line. Kind of had trouble in the first half, and I had trouble getting the ball out. And but I think the second half, our coaches made good adjustments. O-line really picked it up and played a really great second half. And then I think from there we saw something in our run game, and we took advantage of it.
Yeah, that's awesome, Bart.
I mean, I was thinking, going into the postseason, do you guys have to really switch anything up? I mean, incorporate any new schemes, or we run what we run, stop it if you can? I mean, is there anything you guys do new going into the postseason, like maybe hold some plays back that you hadn't run all year, or?
Occasionally, there will be a play or two we haven't run. There was a couple this year. I know we ran one against South Point that we had worked to Michael. Yep. So occasionally it does happen, but I think you just do what you do. You've worked all year. You get in those big games. You kind of rely on, like I said, players over plays. We try to get the ball in our best players' hands, let them make plays, run things that we're comfortable with, that they can run in pressure situations and execute, and just kind of do what you do. And I think that's pretty much the philosophy.
Should be able to do it in your sleep, so just take it to the game.
No doubt.
Eli, before we get you out of here, we'd be remiss not to talk about your next steps as your football career. going to play at Virginia. We talked a little bit before we came on air as far as the, behind the scenes. You leave actually Friday morning. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Friday morning.
So you already graduated Crest, right? You're done with that.
Yes, sir.
And going to Virginia. So how excited are you for that opportunity? Are you looking forward to get back into the grind? You're going to have a little time off. When does spring football start for you guys up there? And how excited are you just to take that next step, man?
I mean, I'm really looking forward to it. Obviously, I didn't want to get ahead of myself while I was still at Crest. Kind of stay where my feet are. But now that it's kind of here, I'm really looking forward to it. It's been ever since I was little. You dream of playing on TV, playing on ESPN, and so to have that kind of come true is, or at least be a part of something that plays on ESPN. But for just have that come true is like it's surreal, But it's just the beginning and not a destination, or not the arrival, but just the beginning. And so, got to go up there and work and earn my keep up there before I get too far ahead of myself.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach Lloyd, before we're about to take a break, but do you have any final words for Eli as he makes his way on? I'm sure you've had many conversations with him throughout the course of the year.
Eli's a special player, special person. He was a great leader for us. He's a great quarterback. I think what makes Eli a great quarterback while he was in high school is he had to learn. He can learn and run any type of offense. He kind of at three places. I know he kind of ran three different schemes, and like we said earlier, we're talking about being a dual threat for a high school quarterback. He really was a dual threat. I'm not sure how he'll be used at Virginia, but I'm sure they'll find a way to bring his strengths out. But he really was a dual threat for us, and he bought into anything we tried to do, and he was. He's a coach's dream. He gets out there and works hard, and he's talented, and he's a great leader, a great competitor, and obviously I'm going to miss him, but I'm very thankful I had the opportunity to work with him and be out there with him every day.
Awesome. Well, we're going to take a quick break on Mind Your Business Podcast. We'll be right back. And when we do come back, we got a special presentation for both of you guys on behalf of Nelon-Cole, our sponsors. We got to pay some bills there real quick. We'll be right back on Mind Your Business Podcast.
They're everywhere. Your yard, your kitchen, your bedroom. Invading your home and property, spreading disease, and destroying everything in their path. If you don't act, they'll multiply, crawling ever closer to you and your family. The only thing they fear is the web. Nelon-Cole Termite and Pest Control. Call today for their new service special and save $25. Bugs, beware of the web.
Welcome back to Mind Your Business Podcast. Again, if you're a Cleveland County native and you're a fan of football, this is the podcast that you need to be listening to. We've been talking to Coach Lloyd from Crest and the quarterback Ely Hamrick from Crest and their state title win, and just a little bit about the season. But before Eli has to get out of here, we're going to have one more segment with Coach Lloyd, but Eli's got to get going. Before you guys get out of here, though, we got a special presentation that we want to bring you.
But before we get to that, our thousands and thousands of viewers want to know a little bit more about you, Eli.
Thousands.
And this is what we call rapid fire, and this is actually probably the most watched part of our podcast that we do.
Okay.
So, you're up for rapid fire. I'm going to ask you a series of questions. You just answer them and let our listeners get to know you a little bit.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what is the better football movie? Friday Night Lights, The Gridiron Gang, Varsity Blues, Radio, Jerry Maguire, or Remember the Titans?
Varsity Blues.
Varsity Blues.
Good Lord, Bart, how many choices was that?
Well, there's a lot of good football movies. I just want to give him a good choice. Varsity Blues, all right. After you get your first big NIL deal, will you be more likely to purchase a Lamborghini, Ferrari, Corvette, jacked up 4x4, or all of the above?
I think I've said I'd probably invest it, but I'd probably pick a Lamborghini.
There you go.
There you go. Good deal.
Do you look to have a career in football at some level in the future beyond college? Say, if you didn't even play in the NFL 20 years from now, can you see yourself coaching maybe or something of that nature?
I mean, I think that's probably my dream is I want to stay in football and help. Well, either if my career as a player doesn't work out, probably eventually give back to players who are kind of in my shoes currently, and just because I think coaches make a huge impact on players' lives.
I agree with that for sure. Which of these songs could we likely find on your playlist? Another One Bites the Dust by Queen, I'm the Problem, Morgan Wallen, Nice to Meet You by Miles Smith, or Bad Blood by Taylor Swift?
Definitely Morgan. Definitely Morgan Wallen.
So no Taylor Swift.
So no Taylor Swift?
Come on.
Oh, man, no Bad Blood.
All right, no Bad Blood.
Bart, what these questions for?
When you're not winning state titles, what would our audience more likely see you being engaged in? A round of golf, bow hunting for deer, deep sea fishing, cliff diving, or pulling for the Clemson Tigers?
Wow. My man's going to Virginia, and you're going to throw Clemson in there. Unbelievable right now.
Before he came in.
Okay. Either round of golf or deep sea fishing. It's pretty hard to deep sea fish in Cleveland County. But
who's your favorite NFL quarterback, past or present?
Cam Newton. No, Cam Newton, no question.
Yeah.
No question, he said.
No question.
When a team wins a state, you guys form some kind of special bond or fraternity that gets created like an elite club that only a state champion can be in, that you guys will just hang on to forever?
I think so. I mean, some of the one of our DB coaches, Coach Omar Porter, he always talks about a fraternity between the state champions, and so I guess we're in it now. But
yes,
we haven't had any meetings or anything.
No meetings yet.
Well, you have to do like a 10-year reunion of state champions,
something like that.
I tell you, Coach Porter's a good one.
Yes, sir. Yeah. He's awesome.
Who's the better quarterback, you or your dad?
Oh man.
I'd give it to my dad. He won the first one, so he's the OG. He's got to have it.
How big of an influence is social media at a high school level, especially at a high-profile school like Crest, and how do you handle that? I mean, I know there's some negativity. We even talked about that on one of the podcasts. Mm-hmm. You guys are just in high school, and sometimes you guys just get hammered, and we were trying to defend you, like, come on, give these guys a break. I mean, how do you guys handle that?
I mean, you just have to take it with a grain of salt. I mean, none of these people that are insulting you are playing. So there's probably a reason why they're not playing. Or
I love it. And that is not the quarterback talk, and that's what I wanted all night.
That's a perfect answer.
Perfect.
That's awesome.
If you could play quarterback for any NFL team, which one?
Carolina Panthers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do they have a shot against the Rams?
I think so. I mean, Bryce Young, if he plays his best game, I think we got a shot against anybody.
Yeah, 100%.
What advice would you give next year's team to repeat?
I mean, don't let your heads get too big. Don't think that just because we won it this year that we're guaranteed to win it next year. Just keep your head down, keep on working, and just be hungry. Know that there's nothing's going to be given to you, and just know that you have to earn it.
Do you have an agent yet?
I do.
I know a guy.
I do.
Okay.
I know a guy.
You got to get in on the ground level, guy.
Bart was trying to fish his way in there, man.
Bart gonna send him to some guy.
I already know the answer to this one, but if you don't play college football beyond the college level, what occupation would you most likely do? And I guess you'd like to stay in coaching or some.
Likely coaching. Yeah, probably coaching. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Well, you survived the rapid fire, Eli. And thanks for that, man. Congratulations on surviving that. Not many people do.
Yes, sir.
But before you get out of here, we know we got to get out of here. But before you do, we want to present to you. Are we doing both at the same time?
One more question.
Okay. One more question.
Would you rather
Sorry.
be lucky or good?
I'd rather be lucky than good any day.
Really?
Yes, sir.
There you go.
Oh,
There
I'd
you
rather be
go.
lucky than good.
I'm surprised at that because luck runs out sometimes, but good.
Yes, sir.
But speaking of lucky, good, great, both of you guys had a great year and a great season. We want to give you an award to recognize what you've accomplished this year, and this is from Nelon-Cole.
Yep.
And Keith Nealon made a special appearance today to present you guys with this award himself.
Yes.
How awesome is that? The man, Keith Nealon's in the house.
Eli, you mentioned giving back. We want to give you back something. Here's the MVP.
Yes, sir.
State
Yeah.
championship. We'll give you a Nelon-Cole
Awesome.
hat. And we
Thank you,
appreciate
sir.
all you've given back to community.
Yes, sir.
Crest High School, and I know Coach Lloyd is really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Wear that hat on TV at Virginia.
We appreciate all you
Well, thank you.
to the community,
Thank
Crest,
you.
and the players, man. I know you'll be greatly missed.
Well,
And what you both
that's
left
kind.
behind,
Well,
just
thank y'all very much, and we thank Nelon-Cole, and it's.
I mean, I don't know. These might be the best awards you guys ever received.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
No, I'm just kidding. They look cool though.
These
look
are
awesome.
These are sweet, but I think I speak for Eli. We'll accept these on behalf of our entire team. So thank you very much.
I like how you guys always included the team, even when Eli. We were kind of trying to get him to brag on himself, but he was talking about how the blocks the players were making and this and that. I mean, that is what it takes, and that.
Football is the ultimate team sport,
Yep.
and what makes it special, one man cannot win. I mean, it takes a team.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and I think I speak for Eli and our whole team when I say that.
Absolutely. Well, Eli, we're going to let you get out of here, man. Thank you for joining us.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Best of luck at Virginia.
We will see you.
Ready to see you on
TV.
ESPN, man. And maybe this time when they play in the ACC championship, they can get that win.
Yes, sir. I
Because
hope
you
so.
know.
come out
At the Sports Center, we want to see a Nelon-Cole hat.
Yeah, absolutely. Wear the hat.
And when you come back to Charlotte to play for the ACC championship, stop by. We want to do another real quick podcast before.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
On your way. On your way. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with more with Coach Lloyd and talk about his future as well. This is Mind Your Business Podcast. We'll be right back.
Attention home buyers. Call Nelon-Cole Termite and Pest Control before purchasing your new home to avoid getting stuck with extensive damage, typically not covered by homeowners insurance. Nelon-Cole Termite and Pest Control will inspect your home for prior or present wood-destroying insects and moisture. Call Nelon-Cole Termite and Pest Control today to schedule your free estimate at 1-800-7-THE-WEB. And receive $25 off any new service from Nelon-Cole Termite and Pest Control.
Welcome back to Mind Your Business Podcast. Again, if you're a Cleveland County native, this is the podcast you want to be listening to. We just sent Eli on his way with the MVP from Nelon-Cole. We're going to finish out the segment with Crest, and then don't go anywhere because we have more coming. Alan, did you know that?
Yes, I did.
We have more coming.
Doggone
We got Coach Wilbanks and Lan Farmer coming in and talk about them and their state title win, as well as they actually played the game before you guys, Coach Lloyd,
They did.
and took care of business. And we'll get into
Had a
that.
great season.
Did you guys watch that game, or were you too busy?
We watched it on our phone a little bit on the bus on the way down. We didn't want to get there too early, but we.
That's like a home game for Cleveland County.
No doubt, it was great, and Cleveland County supported both teams that day, and it was special.
So, Coach, I want to get a little bit into the actual day of the game. All right, that Saturday that you went down there and played, you just said you didn't want to leave too early. Just the whole dynamic of that day. I mean, even the night before. Mm-hmm. What goes through your mind the night before when you lay down at night to put your head on the pillow? Did you get any sleep that night? Did you rest up? You know, what was the first thing that you thought about when you woke up, other than your normal stuff about the game? How did that day that play out for you?
Yeah. I was excited, and when I went to sleep that Friday night, I think I slept pretty good, and I knew we had a good team, and then we had a great plan, and I thought our kids would show up and play good. It was more maybe the logistics, maybe were a little more stressful about the Saturday than anything. Hoping buses there on time to pick us up. We had a good crowd as we left. It was fun. The Booster Club did a tremendous job. The parents did a tremendous job with the send off. It was really fun. We tried to keep it as close to a regular day as we could, even though the travel was pretty far. We wanted to eat pregame approximately, 4 hours before we play, and we were able to do that. And we walked through at Western Alamance High School. They were kind enough to let us use their facility, and we ate at a church right there beside, and we catered a pregame meal and ate it at the church, kind of like we normally would for a game. So it all kind of worked out good, and once we got to the stadium, it was a really cool place to play. It was kind of easy to get into the Durham County Stadium there, and it just worked out really good.
So, talking about the day, you talk about the send-off that you guys had. I mean, a bunch of people came out to support. I thought it was really cool to have a former player, Ryan Black, ride the horse down and kind of lead the guys out to the buses. That was pretty awesome.
Everybody loved that. It was awesome, and it was special. The whole day was special. We wanted it to be that kind of day, and but we wanted the focus to be on the game. But that just made it extra special. And looking back on it, it couldn't have gone any better.
So, again, you talk about the day in itself, and obviously Shelby played before you guys, and you find out, obviously, when you get there, or, through the grapevine, when you're there, you find out that Shelby wins the game. And did that put any extra pressure on you guys? Be like, okay, we don't want to be the other county team to lose the game, right?
Well, no, we don't want to lose for many reasons, but that, I guess, but Crest hadn't been in a state championship game, much less a Western final, since 2015. So it's been 10 years. It's been 10 years since they've even played in the Western final. So we wanted it was an opportunity, and it was and we want to take advantage of it. Felt like we had the better team, and the kids were focused, and we had a good feeling, and they played well.
So you talk about the decade since Crest has been in the last state title. Prior to that, it was a decade before the 2015 season. So, I kind of see a history repeating itself, but hopefully that doesn't take place this time around. We don't have to wait 10 years for another state title.
No, I don't think Crest will. And even over the last 10 years, they've had good teams.
Yes,
I mean,
100%.
Like we said, many times it takes a break here and there, and sometimes it's not what you have as a team, and sometimes what the other people you have has, because sometimes they have special teams a year that you do, and it doesn't work out. So, but this year it did work out, and I think you'll see Crest back in that championship game sooner rather than later.
One thing we were talking off script a while ago, and you'd mentioned all the injuries you guys had overcome this year, and that's one thing most teams don't realize, how much depth you actually have to go all the way because of injuries. You're going to have them. I mean,
that was really one of the reasons we were a really good team. We had a lot of good players. We have a lot of solid high school players. We had some high-end talent. We had some young talent. I mean, we just had a lot of good players, and we did have some injuries. It's pretty fortunate that we didn't lose anybody for a long, long period of time. Jason Black was our longest guy out, and he was our running back, and that did hurt us. But we had some good depth at running back too. Malachi Gamble did a great job when Jason was out, and they were a good 1-2 punch. But we were fortunate. The team was in was in good shape this year. I think we was pretty stout and strong, and we did our best to try to keep them healthy. And we had a great. Trip Hastings, I don't know if you know Trip. He's our athletic trainer, and he did a phenomenal job with our kids too.
So talking about the game itself, when you get there, you start off, like you said earlier in the podcast, you start off a little rocky. Credit to Hunt. I mean, Hunt.
Sure.
I mean, for sure. I mean, you're watching it on TV. I didn't make it out to the game itself, to the stadium, but I watched it on TV. Hunt came to play. I mean, they were fired up. They had a game plan, and for the first 4 minutes of the game, they kind of executed that game plan. And it felt like almost like you said earlier, that y'all just kind of had to settle in. And that one play to Eli, to Manje, really settled y'all down. And from there, it just took off.
It did.
Was there a point in the game, though, that you felt like we're good? We're here. We have arrived. We're playing our best ball, and this is our game to actually lose.
Right. Well, first quarter wasn't our best, but we may have been trying too hard. But I think you got to give credit to the other team. They were ready to play. They were physical to start the game and intense, and they were focused. And I always say this: I mean, whoever you pull for, whoever you coach for, play for, you always think, hey, we're the team. The other team's trying too. They have coaches too. They have players too. They're working hard too. They're practicing. Yeah. So they're doing all these same things we do, watching film. So, I mean, you got to give the other team credit sometimes, and I thought they deserved a lot. But I did think we had the more talented team, and we had played the tougher schedule, in my opinion, and we had definitely played a tougher playoff schedule. Mm-hmm. And I think once the second quarter rolled around, they did make a few plays on offense. defense the rest of the way, but Coach Toms and our defensive staff did a fantastic job as far as preparation for the game, but then our players got out there and played. Our defense played phenomenal. Offensively, we were able to mix in some running pass, and after that first quarter, I thought I felt pretty good about it. And then, of course, once we took a 31-14 point lead there late in the third quarter, I felt pretty good about it. As long as we just kind of took care of the ball, we would get to the finish line.
Yeah, and we talked a little bit to Eli earlier about the playoff and the run that you guys had and the difficult run that you guys had coming out in that 4 seed, and a little bit that we can get your opinion on that too. When you see that and you see the seedings come out, and you're probably sitting there with some of your coaches and y'all are kind of figuring it out, like game plans, who we got to play first, and you see that you're a number 4 seed and the classification where the number 1 seed you beat. Sure. And you beat handily.
We did.
And you come out and you're a number 4 seed. How does that affect your guys' preparation? I mean, players are different. Coaches is different as well. How did y'all take that as coaches?
I think it's a little aggravating at the start, just to be honest with you. But once you come to grips with where you're sitting, we ain't gonna change it. So we got to go play and win the games. Did we deserve higher seed, comparing with South Point? Probably. They go 8-2, we go 8-2. We beat them head to head. We finish higher in the league, in the conference. They probably need to come up with a better way to seed that. But we were. Hey, maybe our biggest issue a little bit may have just been who was the 5 seed. It was East Lincoln, and East Lincoln was good enough to win a state championship too. So we was going to have to play them in the second round. So that was you just knew it was going to be tough, but I thought it made us better, and we were definitely a very tested team come the championship game.
Did you ever get do you get an explanation of why, or did you ask, or did somebody say?
It's a formula, and it's just a formula, and it's right. It's just maybe we need to change the formula. It's your winning percentage and who you play, their winning percentage plus who they play is winning percentage. So nothing against some of the teams that say we play Shelby or Burns, and who they play goes on our stuff too. So
gotcha.
I mean, it just kind of works that way, and so it's nobody's to blame. It's just when you beat somebody handily like we did, and then we finish higher in the conference than they did, and they're ahead of us 4 spots. It is a little bit mind-boggling, but that's okay. Especially it's okay now since we won. So
yeah, 100%.
So it's all good now.
Coach, did you know you were going to retire this year, win or lose?
I did.
Okay.
I did. I sure did.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. All your years of coaching, I thought you had a well-balanced team.
We did.
Of all years of coaching, how would you compare this team to all the teams you coached in the past?
So I was fortunate enough to be a head coach for 21 seasons, and we've had some really, really good teams. I do believe this is the best all-around team that I've had. We were just good in all 3 phases. We were good on offense, defense. We had a good kicking game. We had good leadership on the team. The coaching staff did a phenomenal job. Our talent was really good. It was a really fun year. We thought it was going to be a good year, but you just never know. You get out there and start playing. But it was definitely at the top, one of the top teams that I've been a part of.
I'm a big believer it starts at the top. So obviously you as the head coach, and down through your coaches, through your players, you've done something right.
Crest does a lot. Crest does a lot right. They always have, and just I think the high expectations in the football program at Crest, that it kind of starts it, and they've won so much through the years, and it just kind of filtrates through the kids. And I always say that's kind of about Shelby too. The kids is playing for you. Their daddies play, their uncles play, their older brothers play, and they've all done well. So, and they hear that and they know it, and it's not like you're at a place where they hadn't won. They've won a lot. So they hear it at home, they hear it in the community, they hear it everywhere, and the expectations are high. So So, but I wouldn't want it to be any other way, and that's why it's fun.
Well, we're not local from the county. We've been moved this area, but
Right.
I'll be honest with you. I think Cleveland County is one of the most competitive counties in North Carolina. It's overall all sports.
I think
And
Cleveland.
I think it makes
Yep.
what makes it so special is iron sharpening iron.
There's no question.
You ain't playing. I mean, y'all play such a tough schedule and playing Cleveland
Each
County.
other. That's
But
exactly
you're
right.
prepared. So when you get into the playoffs, hey, it's just another game. Because you already faced that competition.
No doubt. Kings Mountain, Burns, Crest, Shelby all have good talent. They got coaches that care, got excellent coaching staffs. All the fan bases support their teams. And like I said, iron sharpens iron, and that's kind of what happens here. Very seldom does one of those programs not have a great year, and most years everybody's really competitive. So it's unique. Cleveland County is unique, in, to especially high school football, and it is. Yeah, per capita, I think it's the best high school football county in the state.
We had like a pound for pound champion. Cleveland County by far would run away with it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Talking a little bit about the state championship and the win that you got. We talked a little bit about to Eli about how negative social media can be. How does it feel to almost like for you as a coach to kind of almost get that, I don't want to say monkey off your back, but get that that state title finally as a head coach? I'm going to tell a little story, Alan. You're gonna find this very funny.
Do I have to listen?
And Coach Lloyd might remember this. I don't know if you do or not, but it was when you were coaching at Kings Mountain. Y'all had one of the better teams you've had at Kings Mountain. And I did a radio show at Gardner Well.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, this
Let's
story.
talk about this today.
Yeah, this story. And y'all got beat kind of early on in the playoffs, and there was a lot of scrutiny happening. And I was just talking in the media on the radio show, taking the callers from the fans and stuff. And I just said, it was kind of like, it was an underwhelming season compared to the talent that they had, and they probably should have went further in the state, and kind of made my remarks. Didn't think nothing about it. We're doing a radio show, right? Well, your coaching staff, some of them, and I'm going to call them out, Coach Cruz and Coach Latham at the time, came up to the radio station.
They didn't like it, did they?
They did not like it.
You're talking about the team, man. You're talking about the team.
Well, here's the thing about that. Sometimes, and I remember that. And sometimes when those things happen, you or nobody else knew the reason why things happen, and I don't. And the talent level, we had good teams, but that probably
changed.
I mean, it just happens. I really did have some good teams at Kings Mountain. You talking about some, and we were close many times, and we lost in 7 overtimes to Charlotte Catholic in 2019 to go. And
that was crazy. I remember that.
And they won the state championship the next week. So, but I tell you, I did love my time at Kings Mountain. It was great, and I know we're just going on with that. But yeah, so that's just part of it, and criticism comes with it, and people get on you, and that's just part of it. If I couldn't take it, I sure don't need to be coaching the football team.
Like that's about to work you over, Justin.
Well, I'll be honest with you.
That's funny.
The show started
Goodfellas there.
The show started after the games played. It started around 10 o'clock. By the time the show was in, it was like 12 o'clock, and I got 3 coaches sitting in the lobby waiting on us to get done with the show to have a conversation with us. And I'm like, and to my credit, I will say, I'm 38 years old now. I did that show when I was like 21, so I was like a young gun, just getting into the media, not really thinking about
ran
it.
off the mouth a little, Rick.
I did. I did.
And as a coach, that's fine. Like I said, like when people come to the games, like my family they sit in the stands, and I'm sure they hear it all the time. But they sit right in there with them, and they're probably getting on me too. That's just part of it. But that doesn't bother me. But I think sometimes when it, like a coach, like some of those guys that come up there that night, when high school kids hear negative from stuff on the radio, or it does affect the dynamics of the team. And that, as a coach, that's the things you worry about. It's not like, hey, we made a bad call, we had a bad game plan, we did it. No, it's really the chemistry of the team. That's kind of what wins and loses sometimes. And then when outside influences affect you, it's like, I just kind of wish that didn't happen. And that just, it's not so much the negative, it's kind of what you worry about happening to the team.
Yeah, and just for the record, Coach Latham is a great guy. Coach Cruz is a great guy. We have great relationships
So you don't believe
now.
that Coach Lloyd
They were just going into defense of their team, man.
Absolutely.
No different than your kids. I mean, you can't blame them there.
They got in the car, drove from Kings Mountain to Gardner Webb at 12 o'clock at night.
Well, it shows you that they were committed.
They commit. They love their team.
They love their team.
You don't think Coach Lloyd said, go in there and take out his kneecaps?
I do not.
Go get him. Yeah, go get him.
Go get that boy from Cleveland County. Don't know what he's talking
You
about.
let him know what time he was leaving here tonight.
I think it's just the guy. I think it's just the guy.
Needs to be got.
Coach, when you came back to Crest, did you realistically believe that 2 years I could obtain a title? Or is Crest just that good? If I manage this thing right, we got a realistic shot every year.
Yeah, I think a lot of years Crest has to be considered in contention for sure. I don't think that's the goal, but I think as a coach, your ultimate goal is to help the team improve, be a good role model, set some good examples for the kids, and teach them those good life lessons. That's not coach speak. That's pretty much what we're trying to do on a daily basis. But winning's a big deal, and it's near the top. And if it's competitive sports, and we want to do well, and but yeah, I mean, you never know. But I thought we, especially this year, with having a year with them, all the coaches kind of back, the same schemes in both sides of the ball. I thought we improved a great deal over last year, and I thought we would have a legitimate chance.
Nice.
So, Coach, talking about your retirement, you said that that was kind of a decision, win or lose the game, win the state or not state. That was kind of a decision that was already made.
Yes.
Was that a conversation that you and your wife had, Miss Beth, prior to all of this, the season and everything?
Yeah. So
and what went into that?
Yeah. So she was planning on retiring in December. I think it's August, September. And I told Principal Mr. Shields there about end of September that I thought I was going to retire at the end of the calendar year, and and just move forward. And I just thought it was a good time for us, and I hope I'm able to coach some more. I'd like to, possibly go to South Carolina and coach if possible. If not, that's, that'll be okay too. I might find somewhere to help along the way or continue.
I'm sure somebody's going to be looking for you.
I would like to keep coaching, and if possible. But I thought it was a good time for us to retire from the state. It just worked out right for us, and But boy, it really was a great 2 years, and I can't thank our players and coaches and administration and the fan base at Crest. It's phenomenal, and it was tons of fun. And I graduated from there. I was assistant coach there for 10 years. I've now been part of 4 state championships. So it's pretty special, and I'm just very blessed, just to tell you the truth.
Yeah, it's got to be very special to get to go out that way.
And it beats the alternative.
Absolutely,
absolutely. So, but it was so much fun, and what made this team special is so many people contribute. Talking about we was good on both sides of the ball. I mean, we had so many contributions from so many players, coaches. The Future Chargers Booster Club was phenomenal. Our scoreboard was beautiful at the stadium, and love seeing y'all's name at the top of it.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of work. Our stadium looked good this year. We did some upgrades in the field house. We upgraded our coach's office, our locker rooms. So we did a lot of good things, and hopefully it'll be things that Crest will enjoy here moving forward. And I just look forward to seeing their successes, and I know they'll keep being an elite program.
Talking about the fan base and how you mentioned about the fan bases in Cleveland County, I feel like, honestly, though, and maybe it's because I'm a little biased because I went to Crest as well, graduated from Crest, and I've always been a fan, always believed that green and gold. But I feel like the fan base over the last couple years have really stepped up at Crest. Like, Charger Nation has really shown out this last few years. I attest that to, and like you said earlier, it starts with leadership. It starts at the top with head coaches getting involved, getting the community involved. I mean, every Friday night that y'all have a home game, we have flags flying through the town of Bowling Springs. The crowd is there. The band's into it. The Crest and the student section, all of that stuff. How does that go into a Friday night when you look in the stands and it's packed out and you got fans going crazy? You got the students there supporting these kids that they see every single day in the classroom.
Yeah, it's amazing. And, I'm glad you brought up the cheerleaders and band. They're phenomenal this year, too. And they play a big role in it. But when we tell our players a lot, and I know it because I played and then I've coached here, every place is not like Cleveland County. It's not like Crest High School where it's a big deal every Friday night and you get to play in front of a lot of people and the stadium's electric and you got a big crowd and everything looks good and it's a big deal. So we're fortunate to be in this county and it's special. And the way the community supports this program is really pretty second to none.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's one thing Keith and I was touching on earlier, and being an outsider of Cleveland County, not growing up in the area, but being around it now and being here for as long, you really develop a big respect for this county and their athletics and what they do. I mean, it's second to none. I mean, like I said, pound for pound, it's like nobody compares. I mean, it's
impressive.
It really is.
I mean, you get a Crest Shelby game, Crest Burns game. There's been times where
in the county all your life, you kind of expect it and you sort of get used to it.
Yeah.
But looking from the outside, you're just like, we're amazed. We're like super impressed. Like, man, these guys are studs. It's a powerhouse. I mean, it's special, like you said. It is.
I mean, like I said, getting those rivalry games in county games. I mean, there's no question that you're going to have the banks full of people from wall to wall. I mean, no knock against Gardner Webb at all, but there's a lot of times. I'm not knocking Gardner Webb.
Man,
but I'm just saying, there's going to be they're going to have on a Friday night at a Crest Shelby, Crest Burns game just as many.
Most college.
A lot of. I mean, you're talking 10+ thousand fans.
Well, I'll say this: we've been to a lot of college games, Clemson, great environment, place like that. But to me, that environment at high school, man.
Yeah, it's great.
Crest it's just nothing better. I'd rather be at that game than I would in these colleges.
High school is probably going to be the only pure form of football left. It really is.
It's
afraid so.
Yep.
Getting that way. But now, one thing I want to say is you brought up earlier, people don't realize the work and the commitment that it took. And that's what, I see it, just running a business, people don't see that you got to get up and fight every day.
You do.
And that's what you've done, your team done, and the resilience, that's what impressed me the most, is y'all had that, like you knew what you want. You didn't take no for an answer.
No, we didn't. And
y'all had that sit, and y'all went and accomplished what you wanted.
Yep, no doubt. And you had to do it every day.
Hard
and
work.
just to get a little bit better as you go along, and then your final result, it was pretty special.
And just what Eli said to me, I mean, it kind of stuck with me. He's like, my dad was a receivers coach. He was coaching the receivers how to run the routes to cater to me.
Sure.
Throwing to them. I mean, that's just impressive by itself. And most places don't even think about stuff like that. I mean,
it all works together as so many working parts in football. That's why it is the best. It's the best game. There's no doubt. I don't see how anybody could argue that it's the strategy behind it, just the development behind it, how many people's involved. It's just, it's a special deal. It's fun, and it takes a lot of people to make it work, and it takes everybody on the same page, pulling in the same direction, and not having those egos. Just kind of, having that team first attitude, and that's what these 2025 Crest Chargers had, and that carried us through.
Well, you've seen it in Eli, the humbleness in him. I mean, it's just right here.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, when he's talking about his dad just being a father.
No doubt.
I was over there like,
sure.
Hit the spots there,
Yeah.
And that's special.
No
they
doubt.
got that time together.
Oh, it was. It was
that
phenomenal.
had to be special for both of them.
No doubt.
Everybody involved.
No doubt.
So we'll kind of wrap it up, and I know Bart is going to hit you. You're not getting scathed from the rapid fire questions. We're going to hit you with those in just a few minutes. But the one of the most special things I've ever heard players talk about. I played all the way up until I was in middle school, and then I wrestled.
He couldn't make it in football.
That's not true. That is not true. My senior year, I got asked by Coach Claire to come out, and I denied it because I was afraid to get hurt. But
Here it comes. My shoulder hurt.
Anyway, my shoulder. I don't want to get hurt. But the thing that I hear about players talking about is you never know when your last practice is going to be unless you're playing in the state title. And then you know when that last practice is. Can you just talk about a little bit about that day? Like the last practice, especially for the seniors.
Yeah.
You especially, this was your last practice.
Yep.
Your last walkthrough because you're retiring, that kind of thing, as far as, and unless you get another job in South Carolina. But that last practice, I've heard players from, past. I went to school with Travis Padgett, graduated with him, Martre, all of them, and them talking about that last practice. There's something special about that.
It is, and it's you're talking about being a family. It really is. You spend that much time together day after day after day. I mean, it is a family. So when it gets to the end, it's exciting, but it's also, there's a little bit of sad to it. There's a little bit, but it's kind of all those emotions. But you feel good, and you feel like you've accomplished something. You was out there as long as we could be out there, and then we told we're playing that Saturday night game at 8 o'clock, so we were the last game in the state of North Carolina for the season, the very last game. So we went as long as we could go, and then it's just kind of all worked together. We did.
That's awesome. I mean, and talk about the talent that you guys had as far as the seniors. I mean, obviously Eli's going to Virginia, but you have multiple guys that are going to D1 class.
Yes. So DeVarius Surratt's going to NC State. Lyric Pettis is going to Duke. Donnie Walton's going to play here at Gardner-Webb. We've got several kids getting looked at right now that I'm sure before the signing day in February, we're going to have plenty more going to be signing. So it's pretty special to have this many good players, and we got a lot of young players in the program that they're going to be big-time prospects. So it's just going to keep. It'll keep going and going.
Cleveland County turns out some talent,
and they do.
And I'm really surprised, and maybe I'm just not in the game as or informed as I should be on this, but with having Charlotte in our backyard and having Gardner-Webb right here, literally in our backyard. Is it surprising to you guys, or maybe I'm just missing the boat on this, but the talent that we have here, Gardner-Webb and Charlotte, I feel like don't capitalize as much as they could be with the talent that we have here. What's your take on that?
I don't really know. Sometimes I don't know. I don't even want to speak on this because I'm just not as informed. I think sometimes the kids want to go off somewhere. They don't want to be here. I think that's they want and then I think sometimes in the past, not recently, but I think in the past sometimes I think it maybe looked cool to some local colleges say, hey, we got a kid out of Georgia or Florida, but then I'm thinking if they ain't playing in Georgia, if they're coming all the way up here, I mean, how good are they? I just
it's a very valid point, actually.
So and then some, just to say you got a kid from somewhere or whatever, but that's not recent. I think the staffs that Gardner-Webb's had around here have done a really good job.
In defense of Gardner-Webb, we do have 4 local boys this year on the baseball team.
Yes.
All representing all 4 high schools. That's big for Cleveland County.
Yeah, absolutely.
and we've got,
like I said, I was in
Alex has been waiting to get another
and
rip
Crest has had some guys, and then like I said, we got 2, Nari Hickman and Donnie Walton have signed with Gardner-Webb for this coming up year. So I think they've done a really good job recently of trying to get into Cleveland County.
We actually have a guy that works for Nelon-Cole that actually played football at Gardner-Webb, Dalton Cochran.
Yeah, there you
go. So there is talent. I just feel like a lot of times these local colleges can capitalize more on the talent that is here in Cleveland County.
We just want to see them stay local so we can watch them more.
That's right.
That's all it is.
That's all it is.
I mean, really what it comes down to.
Sour grapes, I think. The old shoulder injury, right, Justin?
The old shoulder, man. Got me every time. All right, Bart. It's your time to shine, bud.
All right, Coach. I've only got
Coach
5
Lloyd down here.
questions for you.
Just
Okay.
5?
Just
Dang,
5.
taking it easy on him today.
Man,
Going easy
you
on
threw
you.
the dogs to Eli.
I know it. I went a little tougher on the.
One of them's about cliff diving, is it, Bart?
He knew he was retiring, so he was going to take it a little easy.
After you won the state, did you tell anyone you were going to Disney World, and did you go?
I didn't, and I didn't go.
That's what they always say.
I didn't go.
I've noticed that your retirement and the Atlanta Falcons coach being fired is coinciding. Has Atlanta reached out to you about a job?
They have not.
They don't call
Not
it
yet. Not yet. Maybe that's coming here soon.
In your opinion, who was the better quarterback, Eli or his dad?
Oh,
Oh, you can't do that to him. You can't do that to him.
Oh, wow.
I can't edit this out.
Can't
I'm
do
gonna
it.
I'm going to tell you, Ryan was a good quarterback at Crest, and he played for Mike Stewart. But he went on to NC State and played wide receiver. Eli's not going to go to Virginia and play wide receiver. He's going to play quarterback.
I think that's your answer.
And he's
I'm
going to
not-
stop at that.
I'm not saying.
We didn't say athlete. We just said
That's what I'm
quarterback.
saying. I'm not saying Ryan's not the better athlete, but I would say Eli's the better quarterback.
Oh, man.
There's the
That's a
answer.
good
You know, Daddy would probably agree with that, I'm sure.
He would,
Yeah.
but they were both. Ryan was a great player.
Besides the awesome hardware you took home, what intangibles will you take from this year that you'll cherish for the rest of your life?
Just the camaraderie of the team, the closeness of our coaching staff, just the day in, day out grind of it. That's what makes football special. Just the work you have to put in to get something productive out of it, and just the day to day with my friends. And I'd worked with Frank Thomas in the weight room all year, so we became good buddies. Just being there every day, day after day. So I'll just take the relationships. That's what kind of made our team strong, I believe. We weren't perfect by any means, and we didn't do everything exactly right, and we made our share of mistakes, but we did a lot of things right too, and I'll just take just the satisfaction of the team getting along good and working hard, and it's just a great year.
That's awesome. Well, Coach, it's been a pleasure, man, having Eli here too for that few segments, but also just talking about the season, talking about the state title win, man. And thank you for joining us.
Yeah,
Thank you
it's
for
great.
being here. And best of luck. Yeah, we got to
And
get that in there.
Alan, did you get that in there?
Oh, man.
The
Play
man, the
that
myth, the
no-
legend.
yeah.
He tried to cover it up, though. That's his humbleness.
man.
See, that's where Eli got his humbleness. He was trying to cover that up.
Oh, yeah.
That's fine.
We
Crest
put that
gonna
out
make a
for.
statue of you.
They should not.
They should not.
They should not. They should not.
Oh,
But let me just say this: Crest special place. We did a lot of great things. I will say the one group I don't think we've acknowledged tonight is our offensive line. I think they
Yes,
truly
100%,
came
100%.
so far this year, and like I said, our coaching staff was really second to none. And as far as work ethic and building relationships with the players, and Crest fan base second to none, and our exceptional talented players obviously wouldn't have football without them. So I want to thank them all. And also, this year's Crest team, what did we say earlier? 600,
yeah.
662 points. That's a school record, and that's a lot of I don't know how many teams Crest had, maybe 58. We scored the most points this year
Yeah.
ever. So I was,
Crest High School record.
that's a team. That's a nice team goal there, and
set the standard high. man.
that's pretty sweet
right.
that we our defense played great. And I think we averaged 44 points and gave up somewhere around 11 or 12. So that's good team football.
Absolutely.
Coach, are you trying to get 3 or 4 of your successors fired?
They won't be. They will
You
not
set the
be.
standard so high.
No, I think they'll be excited to see who's coming in, and everybody be fired up for 26.
Justin, did you apply?
I did not. Do you have any insight on the next head coach at Crest High School?
I do.
Can we have breaking news right now? Is there anything that can be said, or is that hush hush still?
I cannot say. But
Okay.
I think I'm got an idea. So
Yeah.
I think a lot of people got a kind of
everybody's going.
Give us a hint. Is it a male or female?
Everybody's going to be excited for the new
Is it a human
coach.
being, Bart?
Yeah.
I'm hoping a lot of the assistant coaches will be able to stay and be retained because it's a good staff and they got a lot of talented players coming back and
I'll say they
it's
could
gonna
very
be a
well
good
go
year.
real deep
Absolutely
this year as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, Coach Lloyd, again, we appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to come talk to us for a little bit.
Thank you, guys.
Congratulations again, man. State champions, Crest Chargers 2025. Awesome season. We enjoyed it as fans along the ride with you guys. It's been awesome to see you guys every Friday night.
Thank you very
Yes, sir.
much, and I appreciate Nelon-Cole and all you guys. It's been a wonderful year.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
All right, guys, we're not done yet, Alan. We're not done yet, Bart. We're not done.
Uh-oh.
All right, we're going to take a break,
Yeah.
and we'll be back with the part 2 of the state champions, Shelby High School, and Coach Wilbanks and Mr. Lan Farmer, the quarterback of Shelby High School. So stay tuned. We'll be right back with Mind Your Business Podcast. Welcome back to Mind Your Business Podcast. Alan, we're back again, man. We're back again.
Jason,
Bart.
you have a different helmet in front of you this
I
time.
know we had to make a little arrangements because, again, if you are a Cleveland County native and you love football, this is the podcast you need to be listening to. We got part 2 of the podcast, 2 and 1 tonight because we had 2 state champions. 2 from one county.
Save the best for last.
Oh, wow. We're getting juicy already. But yeah, we're joined. Our second part of the podcast, we're joined with the head coach of the Shelby Golden Lions, Mr. Coach Wilbanks.
Hey, guys.
And the quarterback for Shelby Golden Lions, Mr. Lan Farmer. How you doing,
How you
man?
doing, Lan?
I'm doing great. I can't complain at all.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, we're going to jump right into it, guys. We like to just talk about the season in general. When you look back on this season, obviously you won the state title, and we'll get into the game because, man, what a game that was. Obviously to be a part of and to see it, just to watch it on TV. We'll get into all that. But when you look back on your season as a whole, what's a couple of takeaways that you would say? Coach, we'll start with you, and then, Len, you can follow up with that. What's a couple of takeaways from the season itself?
I would just say that being at Shelby, we have an expectation.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of always the goal to win the state championship, but we also understand the process. So, we started off the season, we're 0-2, and had to lean on some senior leaders. And then we had some other adversity as the year went on. We lost some players, and we lost a conference game to Lincoln in overtime. Then we had some adversity with some guy. Running back got hurt, D lineman. We lost him, lost a tackle, and we just had some things go on this year. And I just credit our guys for just staying the course and trusting the process. That's the thing I think I'm probably most proud of this team is just the way they stayed with it and reacted and responded to adverse situations. And we talk about it all the time, adversity doesn't define your character, it more or less reveals it. And so I think our team and our senior leadership especially revealed what great players, what great men we had on our team.
I'd have to say the same thing because like Coach said, we started 0-2, but a lot of times we had adversity this year. Instead of us fighting with each other, pointing fingers with each other, instead we got closer. And so we had a little group chat, and we always get closer through any adversity because we knew what the final goal was, and we knew we needed each other to be there. So I feel like that was one of the big ones I can remember from this year is just how close the team got, even through anything, through the losses, through the people we lost. We got closer no matter what. So I feel like that's played a big part in us winning this year.
Yeah, talk about adversity, but one thing that I want to kind of piggyback on with you, Lan, is talking about the team itself. Coaches can do what coaches do. They're going to prepare you. They're going to come up with the best game plans as they possibly can. But the players actually got to go out and execute. And when you face adversity like that, I think it's cool that you're talking about more that the team came together, the players came together, the brotherhood came together and said, "Hey guys, this is something that we got to improve on. This is what we got to get better at." You held each other accountable, and I think that goes a long way. Can you speak more about that?
Well, I feel like because we had a lot of people step up that were young this year, and Coach talks a lot about the senior leadership, but the way that some juniors and sophomores that played this year had to step up because, like Coach said, it's a tradition to play here. So there's a little bit of pressure playing at Shelby, but the way we stepped up and kind of like I feel like as a senior I needed to pick some young guys up because I know how it felt playing as a sophomore. It's a lot of pressure playing that young, so it kind of I can relate on to the younger guys. So that's what got us closer, and it was just you don't being a younger guy, you don't want them to have their heads down because it's very easy to have your head down when you haven't played as much. So it's like you trying to put on a show for everybody, but you might have an off game. So that's the kind of thing we try to do is keep everybody's heads up, and just. I mean, at the end of the day, football, it is a game at the end of the day, so we try to still have fun with it. So that's the kind of thing I want to relay on everybody is, yes, we did have a final goal, but at the same time, if you're not having fun playing football, then it's going to be an issue. So.
Yeah, 100%. So what would you say, Coach, was kind of that defining moment in the season, obviously, that can propel the team to know to where you started thinking, maybe not even – at coaching talk, you're always going to have that kind of mindset, like this team can go win a state title. But there's a moment in the season where you look at your team and you're like, these guys can really do this thing.
I think it was a lot of people don't talk about it, but probably definitely the Burns game, the way we won the Burns game was huge. We're down. I think it's like a minute 14 left or something. It's 4th and 13, 4th and 15.
4th and long.
4th and long. I know that.
Yeah.
And we call a play, and they covered it. But Lan just put it right. I've heard us say there's no defense for a perfect pass.
Right.
And he made a perfect pass there. So we complete that pass. Then Burns gets ready to go and score, and we hold them. We block a field goal.
Yeah.
And that was kind of a galvanizing moment for us. But then in round 2 of the playoffs, we go to East Rutherford. We knew we were going to be on the road. We're a 10 seed.
Yeah.
We kind of embraced the road warrior mentality going into it. So round 2, we go to East Rutherford. East Rutherford's 9-1, and we are, I guess, we're 9-2 because we had to play a first round. We didn't get a bye, but we go up there and we played probably the best game. I mean, I've never seen a display like we played that night. And coming off the field, we got on the bus, and Coach Dunaway, our offensive line coach, he played at Burns, South Carolina. He won 3 state championships there. He's been with us since 2013, so he's been around for, 7 or 8 state championships here. He said tonight, we got on the bus East Road. He said, tonight I felt like we looked like a championship team. I said, you know what, I think you're right. I said, I really liked how we played, how we prepared, how we came out and just played as a team. I feel like we looked like a championship team, and it proved to be true from that point forward.
I'd like to expand on that a little bit. And you guys are kind of like the team that are the guy that goes up to the biggest guy in the room and wants to punch him in the mouth. That's kind of like preseason or before you get into conference play. That's kind of like what your schedule is.
Yeah.
How do you guys, a lot of times you start out 50-50. A lot of times you start out with a losing record. How do you guys flip the switch and just get that confidence and get focused? And it's like, okay, now we're starting conference play. Let's go kick some butt. I mean, how do you do that?
Yeah.
I mean,
go ahead.
I feel like that's one thing Coach does well is he plans the schedule to, like with King Mountain and Crest. I mean, Crest simply you can see they won state this year. I feel like he does a good job. We start out with some of our hardest play.
You guys play them better than the
that's why. Yeah, that's what I feel like. That's one thing people to look at is we play Crest first, second game of the season, and then you just see where they turned out to be is like when you compare those teams to the teams we play in the playoffs. It's like, is this a team as good as Crest, or is this secondary as good as Crest secondary offense? So it kind of prepares you because you play those big guys first, and so then it's like, okay, we can hang with anybody because I mean we hung with them. It was a close game, and so it kind of prepares us differently than it would be if we played 2 teams just to get a win.
Right.
So while 0-2 it doesn't seem good, but it prepares you. I feel like more than playing 2 teams.
Well,
you
that's
can beat
why
by
a
50.
10 seed wins the state.
Yeah,
right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, I agree. We front load the schedule, and we come in, after the Kings Mountain game, we come in and we say, look, guys, we look at the stat sheet, and we talk all the time about big games. There's going to be 5 or 6 plays that determine the outcome. And so we'll come in and we go through the game. And we're like, look, we make a play here, make a play there, and we're close. We're close. I know they don't want to hear that on Monday after a loss, but I could see it as a coach. I'm like, man, we're close. And then play Crest. I think we lost 31-24. I thought we kind of grew up a little bit that game. I thought Lan had a big run that game. We started to see him as a runner, not just a passer, and then just the way we went down, we kicked the field goal at the end to make it 31-24, had a chance with the onside kick. Then maybe we throw a Hail Mary. Who knows what happens? But those kind of things get you ready. And so when we get to November and we're on the road at Eastern Randolph or at Mount Airy or wherever, we can kind of fall back on, guys, we played big time.
Before,
we played big teams before. Yeah. This is nothing. We just got to go out here and play our game. So.
Talk about the second round of the playoffs, and we'll get in some stats about the actual season itself, and we'll find out why Tennessee wins the state championship when you compare what you guys did as a team compared to your opponents. We'll get into those a little bit of those stats. But talking about that second round of playoffs, that was one of probably the biggest games East has had in a long time as a playoff atmosphere. It was crazy in there. I mean, that town was hyped for you guys to come in, and then y'all just go in there and just brought the house to them. I mean, and like you said, you look like a championship team. And I think I would piggyback on what you guys both said. That game really set the standard and propelled you guys to be that state caliber team and really set it up for moving on in the playoffs. And talking about your season, Bart, you want to know how they did against their opponents?
I would love to.
Check this out. Stats.
I got a little bit of stats.
Outstanding.
And I will say this. And I will say this. All these stats are they came to me by Mr. Sherman. He's y'all's guy, man.
Does anybody love Shelby as much as Jim and Bob Sherman?
There's not. Jimmy and Bob Sherman love some Shelby football. Yep. They provided. I reached out to them earlier today, and they provided these stats for me. First downs, 259 that you guys had this year.
Downs.
Wow. Your opponents. 178. So there you go. I mean,
first downs equal what?
First downs equal touchdowns.
That's right. 100%. Total offense. Ready for this number? This is why Tennessee wins the state championship right here. Total offense, 6,616 yards. Total offense for the year. Opponents.
There's NFL teams don't put up that kind of offense.
It's true. Opponents, total yards, 3,326. They doubled their opponents in yardage.
Wow.
That's why you win the state championship. That's why you play at Shelby.
That's right.
You come and
Wait. What was the first number? 6,000?
6,016.
And the second number?
6,616 for Shelby.
600. Okay.
Yeah.
I was fixing to say, you said double, and I was thinking, where did you go to school?
And then,
wait a minute.
This guy's always trying to get shot.
You're right.
I mean, I went to Crest, Lan. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I thought your math was wrong, but I stand corrected. You were right.
Continuing with the offense side of the ball, 738 plays that you guys ran.
So you guys had 15 games on your schedule this year?
16.
16. You had to play in games.
Because we didn't have a bye.
Yeah,
we didn't have a bye in the playoffs.
Yeah. They put up that kind of number as opposed to their opponents who only ran actually more plays, 762.
Wow.
All right. Another thing, y'all averaged about, you said first downs wins, get you touchdowns. Y'all averaged about 9 yards a carry, a play.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
About 9 yards a play as opposed to the opponents that you guys played, averaged about 4 yards.
Wow.
Yards per game, you averaged about 413. The opponent averaged about 207.
Sounds like you should have blew some teams out.
and one more stat: the number one scoring offense in the state averaged 50 points a game.
100%. And we're going to get into the state title and the state title game. But I also want to mention one more stat about just the tradition of Shelby High School football. They're about winning. When you come to Shelby, you play at Shelby, the fan base expects it. The coaching staff comes in knowing it. The players know what to expect when you walk onto that field and you do dog pile at the beginning of the game.
Oh, man,
you're ready to
awesome.
go.
That dog pile is also bad.
And this is stats that I could go back into the early 80s, but since 1996, all right, since 96, Shelby has never had, since 96, a losing record. Since 96.
That's as old as Justin.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think before '96, you got to go back. I think there's only one losing season in the last probably 50 or 60 years.
Yeah.
It's a crazy.
I figured you might could expand on that a little bit more.
It's kind of crazy to have that. It's always in the back of your head, especially as a coach. You're thinking, man,
This can't be the year.
And this can't be the year. I didn't
Puts
think,
a little added pressure on you, right?
Yeah, I didn't think that this year at all going in, and 'cause I knew we had a talented team.
Yeah, so let's get into a little bit, Lan, of you, and let's talk about the state championship game. I mean, my goodness, what a game to be a part of.
A nice low-scoring affair.
That's right.
Yeah.
defensive battle there.
Yeah.
Lan, you're responsible. You win the MVP. Congratulations on that for the state title. You win the state championship. Your team, Coach, you put up 84 points in a state title game. You're breaking all kind of records. You're responsible for 10 touchdowns that game. I'm not saying anything you don't already know. I know this, and our fans are.
Still sounds good to hear it again.
But when you think about, when you guys look back on that game, I got one question I want to get to, and it's kind of a funnier question. Did you ever look at your defense on the sideline and be like, okay, guys, can I get one stop? Like, I feel like every time I go out there, I got to score again.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I knew it was gonna pick up at some point. I just told them, I was like, y'all gotta stop. We're gonna keep scoring. So
Yeah.
I mean, I always had faith that they were gonna get stopped.
Yeah.
So.
100%.
Yeah.
Again, you put up 84 points. Let's get your perspective from the player being out there on the field and playing in that type of game. How fun was that? And it being a state title game.
I mean, it was. I always say what's my best game, and I always look back at what my best game was, and it was just to be in the state championship. I've been waiting for 4 years and be able to perform how I performed. It was an unreal feeling just because, I mean, like I said, I haven't been there. Like, I've heard stories of people being there. Of course, I'm not from Shelby, but the tradition, I learned Shelby's tradition real quick just being here. So being a part of that game and being there with my best friends, it gives a different feeling than just winning some playoff game. I mean, I've been there multiple times, but to be my last game of my career and go out like that, I mean, I feel like I said, there's no better way to go out. So, I mean, nothing much.
When did you feel like this is going to be one of those games that's going to be special? Like, was there any point in the game when you felt like, man, I'm going to have a good time today?
Well, actually, the first time I felt it wasn't even during the game. It was actually the week before.
Oh, wow. Okay.
After we played, who we played last? Lincoln. We played Lincoln, and I started watching film the next day on Saturday. And I watched some of the film, and I saw a little bit of the coverage they run. And I actually called our OC, Coach Henry. I was like, they run this defense? And he was like, yeah. And I started smiling because he knew it was my favorite defense to play against. So I was like, okay, it's going to be a game.
Yeah.
And then we scored the first touchdown. And I looked at my dad, and I said, that's one. Because I knew what kind of game it was going to be like. I've never counted before how many touchdowns in a game. But after that first one, I looked at my dad and held up one. Because I knew it was going to be a long game for him. So.
And then at the end, he had an 8. Because that's what you finished with. Here's your stats for the game. And you probably all know this, but just for your passing, you went 20 for 27, a completion rate of 74% for 458 yards, 8 touchdowns. And probably the biggest thing is no interceptions. Didn't throw a single pick. You also had a little bit in the run game, too. You had 7 attempts for 38 yards. You averaged 5.4 yards a carry on that and also contributed to 2 more touchdowns to equal to 10 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. Crazy stuff, man.
Yeah.
I mean, and then putting up 84 points. Coach, when you're sitting on the sidelines and you're watching your team perform like that, what goes through your mind?
Oh man,
is this really happening?
It was a little bit surreal. It's a little bit like, wow, man, this is. At some points, I'm just kind of like a fan. I'm like, man, this is fun to watch.
Yeah.
I was enjoying watching.
Fun for the fans.
I was enjoying watching Lan and those guys, and you talk about throwing 0 picks, and that's really, I think we turned them over 4 times.
Yep.
And I mean,
that could have been a 28-point swing.
Yeah, I mean, if we don't turn them over, I don't know what happens. So credit to those guys for getting the stop. But you get to that point of the season, and you got 2 really good teams. Turnovers can make or break you. And just to credit our offense for taking care of the ball, credit to Lan for taking care of the ball, and our defense for making some adjustments and getting some picks, especially in the second half. I think we had 3 picks in the second half. But yeah, turnovers can get you in the end.
Yeah. So talking about the 84 points that you scored in that game. Crazy enough, Alan, that wasn't the most points they scored in the season.
Must have been 200.
No, it was
90.
They scored 90 in a previous game against against Highland Tech.
Yeah. Yep.
I think that game was 90-0, if I remember correctly.
A real nail biter.
So you want to hear another interesting stat?
Yes.
That also became in Shelby's history the biggest win margin by a Shelby High School football team, surpassing a 1923 team who beat Kings Mountain 80-0
Oh wow!
So congratulations again, Coach.
Another good
just
stat there.
record-breaking.
Right down to the wire.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And Lan, most people know this by now, but you obviously set the Cleveland County record. Talk about that when you finally got that information. Did you know when you said it during the game? How was that? I mean, you finished
Just talk a little bit about his career stats.
Yeah,
too.
you finished your career
Those are
with
amazing.
10,377 yards passing.
That's
in 2022 to 2020. That's a Cleveland County record. The next closest guy, and as far as Shelby's concerned, is Isaiah Best. I mean, you talk about Best as being one of a great quarterback, great player. I mean, you surpassed him by almost 3,000 yards. So a testament to you, man. I mean,
thank you.
And what you accomplished. And Coach, I'll say this, and we'll get back to you, Lan, a little bit. But when you won the state title, and they get you on the field and you just won, and they're talking to you, they're doing the post game with you and everything, and I'll never forget that you were just pouring out your love for your quarterback. And why in the world has nobody reached out? And I don't understand it. I don't get it. I saw that you did get a offer from Davidson, I believe.
Yes, sir.
I don't get it. And we talked about it earlier, and Alan, I'm bringing it back up. We talked about it earlier with Coach Lloyd and Eli, but I don't understand why the talent that we have in Cleveland County, how our backyard colleges, Charlotte, Gardner-Webb, all these schools can't just hone in on that a little bit more. Do you have any insight on that?
I wish I did. I don't know. I think I've said enough on that, but. I wish it was like the NFL. I wish I could keep him around for a few years and sign him to an extended contract. But he has definitely left his mark on Shelby High School in Cleveland County, not only record books and just as a person, as a student, as a leader, in the weight room. I mean, there's so many good things to say about him, and he also has the touchdown passing record. Also,
yes.
I think like 132 something.
Yeah.
130 something. I knew it was somewhere in there, but yeah, I don't know why. I mean, I played at Gardner-Webb, and Charlotte, and I'll probably get ridiculed for saying this, but I don't care. But they're not exactly tearing it up. You know, I mean, they're not going 10-0 or 11-0. They're not playing in the semifinals or the national quarterfinals every year. So, I mean, take a chance. Take a chance on a winner. That's what I say.
I mean, a proven winner, like you said. The Cleveland County record is 132. That's how many career touchdown passes you threw.
It's not like you've went against slouch competition in Cleveland County either. I mean,
right?
Yeah, it's been some studs.
Yeah, you had you broke a record again for it was actually your own record that you broke back in 24 for the highest completion of a game, 95% against Mount Airy. You went 18 for 19. You broke a record again by Best for most completion or most passes completions, which is 615. That record was held by Isaiah Best in 2017, 2019.
Stop it, Justin. You're just making stuff up at this point.
I'm not. Highest passing completion single season for Shelby High School. You broke that was a record from 1995 that you broke. You had a 70% completion rate this for your career, for this season.
Hashtag accolades.
Norris Hopper held that record before you. That record stood for 30 years until you broke it this year. So knocking down records left and right. You get the big win. You get the state title. we got to change our little rag now to 19. Which there's been some question about that. Is it 19? Is it 20?
I don't know.
Is it 21? Keep winning, Coach. We don't know.
I guess we got to get Jim and Bob to get that answer for us. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but again, Lan, congratulations, man. All the power to you. When you look at your career and your next steps, what is kind of your mindset? I mean, you've had now a month since the game's been played. How have you processed the game, first of all, and everything, and all that came with that, the win, and, you know, getting ready, getting you sized up for your ring and all that, and how fun that's been. But your process of the next steps for you, what does that look like?
Well, it actually took me a while to process the state game. I mean, my dad would ask me about once a week, like, have it set in yet? Because it really doesn't set in of what we did and what I did in that game until like a month. Probably right now it's starting to set in, like, really what happened. But the next steps for me, I'm playing basketball right now, but when it comes to college for next year, I'm going to see how it plays out a little bit. You know, the transfer portal ends soon, so we'll see what happens. I just had a Davidson offer today, which is, I think, 8 offers right now. So
that's awesome.
Keep praying about it. I'm going to keep talking to Coach, get insight on him, what's best for me, talk to my parents, and I know I'll be where I got to be.
Other schools that give you offers?
I got one from Virginia University of Lynchburg. I got Wingate. I got Fairmount State, Glenville, North Carolina Wesleyan, Averett College, Allen University.
A lot of offers.
Yeah, it started to pick up a little bit at the state. So
yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that's your next steps. You're playing basketball. I want to talk to you a little bit about the season and stuff. We talk about, you know, how the schedule coach makes it kind of overload on the front end, and then you get prepared for the conference play that prepares you for the actual run in the state. We've asked Coach this. I think we've had you on. This is the 3rd time. The Crest Shelby game. It's one of the biggest ones that you guys face. Any Cleveland County game in-house rival. But how is it for you guys as a player playing in that type of game? It may be Crest Shelby or Shelby Kings Mountain. How fun are those games?
Well, I mean, I think besides the state game, we were not as hyped in any other game besides Crest in the state game. So, like I said, you learn quick about the tradition of Shelby and just that energy between those two teams, and the past between them. So there's definitely a different. I mean, it's not only who wins, it's bragging rights. That's something you get from it. So it just brings a different type of. It's like a different feeling in those games. It's like, I mean, it's not close. It's not a state game, but it's definitely different than just some regular old team that you go and play. It may be a good game, but you know, in a Cleveland County game, no matter the records between the two, it's going to be a good game either way. So.
I mean, it's different when you're playing Crest as opposed to Cherryville.
Yeah.
No shot at Cherryville, though. No shot at Cherryville.
It's not like 2 state champions collide in the same county every day.
How awesome is that?
How common is that?
Yeah.
I mean, does that ever happen?
Yeah.
It's different for sure.
Yeah, and so when you look across and you set the season, we talk about some of the adversities, the setbacks. You can talk about the Crest game, but you say that you learned more in that game than really was more of a setback. It was more of kind of a stepping stone for you guys. Go back to the Lincolnton regular season game where we lose in overtime, and you get that kind of. Do we like to use the word revenge game in the playoffs? Do y'all have that mentality as coaches? Do you kind of preach that, or is that more of a player thing? And both of y'all can speak on that. But how did that Lincolnton game in the regular season, losing in overtime, the way that all kind of played out, kind of propel to the state run?
Well, one thing I took away from the Lincolnton game is I felt like in the first Lincolnton game we didn't play our best. I think we turned it over 2 or 3 times. You go back to the turnover thing, and then we lost in overtime, and we, lost by 1. They went for 2, and they got it. And then the way we handled it as a team, it was an emotional night. And so one of the things that we learned from that is, one, we got to play better. But 2, things are going to happen. And we got to learn how to handle things when they come up. And you got to learn how to harness those emotions. And I hated losing there too.
Yeah.
But we got to, that's one of the things I think we learned from that game. Now, luckily, we didn't have to experience a loss again. So I don't know how they would have handled it going forward. We didn't lose anymore.
We don't have to learn anything. That's it. We're done with learning.
But we knew from that point forward, we thought, okay, well, we just lost to Lincoln, so we're probably not going to win the conference.
Yeah.
So we're probably going to be a low seed. And so there's probably a good chance we'll see them again. And as a matter of fact, I kept all my notes from the game on my scout stuff, and I put it in a file, and I said, we're probably going to see them again. And so we did. And I think our guys were so I don't know if revenge is the right word, but you didn't get our best shot. That's kind of how I think our guys felt. You didn't get our best shot in that first game.
And you barely won in overtime.
So we're going, and they're a good team. I'm not taking anything away from Lincoln. They got some really good players. The brothers, the quarterback, the receiver, and then the Mayfield kid at linebacker. They got some really good players, and Coach Angle does a good job. But I think our guys felt like you didn't see us at our best. And so now if you beat us in the Western Finals when we play our best, so be it. But we wanted to make sure that they saw our best, and
and they did.
They did. I mean,
and we see what happened.
We still turned it over 2 times that night. It could have been
2 fumbles.
2 fumbles, yeah. But it was good to go back and get a little bit of redemption there. And I don't know if Lan wants to speak any on that Lincoln rematch.
Well,
at all.
The thing about that game was, like Coach said, we didn't play our best game, but the feeling that the locker room had, like I had a different feeling in the locker room. Like we wanted to see him get in the playoffs. So it was like, that's why, I mean, you asked the question earlier, what was kind of the moment where it was like a state team, that and Burns, because we had a feeling like we weren't going to lose another game. Right after that game, because after Crest, I mean, you had that feeling like we lost, like, dang, we lost to Crest.
Yeah.
But after Lincoln, I feel like, I mean, the way we took it, it was like, I mean, even Bart, our defensive coordinator, said it to give everybody else that feeling we had that night. So, I mean, to lose that game that close, and we didn't feel like we played our best, we wanted to see him again because we knew we were going to give it our best the next time we saw him. So that's something we kind of fought for, and it ended up being the game for state. So it was like, we're not going to lose again. We won't allow ourselves to lose again. So that was kind of a big thing with that.
It really, you look at it when you lost to Lincoln in overtime, they go for 2 to win it. It almost set that fire. Like, it almost kind of, not that you didn't have it before, right? But it almost kind of rekindled that fire, that desire. Like, okay, like you said, Coach, y'all did not get our best. If we get a chance to face you guys again, you're going to get our best, and you're not going to be prepared for it. And they were not. Again, not taking nothing away from Lincoln. And good football program. Coach Angle, like you said, does a great job. But they didn't get your best that night. They got your best in the playoffs, and we see what happens. Go on and win another state title after that. Talking about the seeding, right? So you're sitting around on the last game. You kind of figured you're going to be a lower seed. Was the 10th seed kind of what you expected going into there, or did you expect to be a little bit higher? Or was 10 about par for the course?
That's about where I thought we would be. I thought maybe we could be a 9, but I knew we weren't going to get a bye. You had to be the top 8 to get a bye. The thing I was watching was, when were we going to see Lincoln? Because East Rutherford was a 7.
Yeah.
Lincoln was an 8. And so the 10 seed plays the 7 seed in the second round. So had things shifted just a little bit, let's say Lincoln had been a 7 seed, well, then we would have seen them in the second round. So, we were kind of looking at when are we going to see them, who are we going to see. And the thing about the playoffs this year, which was kind of cool, I think, with the new 8 classifications is I'd never been to Mount Airy.
Yeah,
I mean that was a good experience to go up there. They got a lot of tradition there. I'd never been to Eastern Randolph.
Right,
that was a cool place to go, and they got a lot of tradition there. So, kind of let me as a coach get to go to some different venues and face some different teams against some different coaches that I always hear about but never have played against.
Yeah, the seeding, you get the 10 seeds, you come out. When you get that kind of seeding, you see who you played. You kind of know what your program's about. Do you have a little bit of chip on your shoulder, like, man, a 10 seed?
Yeah.
Come on. Like, we know what we're about.
Yeah.
And we're about to show the state of North Carolina.
Respected maybe just a little bit, like, guys, we are Shelby.
Yeah.
I
mean, just to bring up Crest, we talked to Crest about that same kind of mentality. They get the 4 seed beating a South Point team who got the 1 seed.
Right.
I still have no idea how that works, but whatever. But y'all coming in as a 10 seed, the competition that you played. You know what you're capable of. You got to have that little bit of chip on your shoulder. Again, with the tradition, too, and knowing, like, history kind of repeats itself with Shelby. Like, you start off kind of because you're overloaded on that front end, but then by the time you get to the state run, nobody wants to see you guys in the state playoffs. At all.
We always like to look at, okay, if they had played our schedule, what would their record be? Other teams, if they'd played Kings Mountain Crest at the beginning, if they'd have played Lincolnton, Stuart Kramer, Burns, some of those guys in the middle, would their record be 8-2 like we were at the end of the regular season? So, but we just worry about us. We know how good we are, and we feel good about who we are, and we just took on. I tell you, man, when the brackets came out, we said we're going to be some road warriors, and we're going to just play. We're going to worry about us. Whoever they put us up against, we'll go play them. And so we just took that mentality and went with it. And it turned out pretty good for us.
You probably actually had the toughest road to the state.
I believe so.
Yeah, 100%. And then you get in the state title, and the rest is history. I mean, literally history.
Like it was maybe a little bit like punishment or something,
but now Kinston, Kinston was a 14 seed, so they had to do the same thing.
100%.
They kind of took the same path we did. So we were the only 2 teams in the state championships that didn't get a bye. All the other state championship teams had a bye, but us and Kinston
sometimes
did not.
a bye don't do you any favors.
That's true.
I told my parents I don't want to bye.
Yeah,
because the last time we had a bye, we lost. So we lost to Lincoln after that.
We lost to Lincoln coming off the bye.
Yeah, and I feel like we took Lincoln for granted. We took a few teams for granted, and I feel like Lincoln was the last team we were like, oh, we're better than them. We can play however. But at the Lincoln, you can see the way the rest of the games played out. We weren't taking nobody else for granted. That was one thing we weren't going to do.
So I gotta ask, because I'm a fan and I graduated from Crest. If y'all play that game instead of the second game of the season, but you play it, say after the Lincolnton game, maybe the last game of the season instead of Burns.
Say tomorrow.
Say we just get y'all suited back up. We have a scrimmage down at Gardner.
How does that? Yeah, I mean, it would bring out more people.
2 state champions. We'll sell tickets, $20 a ticket.
Oh my goodness!
What's the line on that game?
I don't know. Even. Over 55 and a half points, I'll tell you that.
Probably like over and under 160.
Yeah.
How would you say, Lan, I won't ask Coach this. It's kind of, but you're a senior, you're moving on. How would you say that game plays out?
It'd be a good game for sure. It'd be another good game. Yeah. But I mean, Crest was a great team.
Yeah.
I feel like at the end of the season, I feel like we had one of the best offenses in the state. You didn't want to see our offense, and our defense was playing. Well, we had a great defense.
Well, so, early on, you guys played them closer than who they beat in the state.
Yeah, I think it would have been a good game. 2 great teams. They had a good offense. We had a great offense. They had a good defense. We had a good defense. So, the way we looked at the end of the season, it would have been a close game.
Been a lot better, huh? Yeah.
It's a diplomatic answer, though. Yeah. I wanted some spite.
Who got better hair, you or Eli?
Oh, man.
That's a good one.
Two different types. 2 different types.
2 different types. It depends on which type.
Yeah.
Speaking of you and Eli, are y'all close? Are y'all friends? Do y'all talk any?
I've talked to him a few times. We played on the same 7-on-7 team, like same organization. And then when I see him around the county, we dap each other up. So we definitely know each other. Yeah.
Yeah. And talking about kind of some postseason after the state, you played in the Queen City Bowl, right? And you got to play with Mike from Crest.
Yeah.
You actually threw a touchdown pass to him. How awesome is that, being in that kind of atmosphere, playing with guys from different schools and just coming together and playing as a team? How fun is that?
It was fun. It's something I haven't experienced before. It's very different to have a week to learn. Like as a quarterback, you got to learn receivers, have timing down. So it's very interesting to figure that out in a week and figure out the new plays. You can't learn like 10,000 plays in 1 week, but to learn those new plays we had and learn the receivers and try to get close enough to get a win, it's interesting, especially to play against some of the best players in the state. It was fun. I had a lot of fun doing that. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the fastest guy on the Shelby High School football team?
Fastest guy.
What's his
Either
40 time?
what is it? Either Derek or Minman? I mean, not Derek or Minman. JJ or Minman?
Yeah, or,
I think it's one of those two.
Or maybe Jaden before he got hurt.
Jaden. And a sneaky fast was Lola, actually.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem as fast, but he has a long stride.
Kendrick has a good 40 time.
Yeah, I don't know who's I think 40 time fastest is Jaden Williams.
Yeah.
I don't want to get you in trouble with your brothers, man, but you got to call somebody out. You be like, okay, he's the guy.
Yeah, I think by 40 time, I think Jaden Williams is the fastest for his ankle. So, yeah.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. All right, well, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back. Lan, we're going to hit you with some rapid-fire questions, man. We want to get to know you a little better, a little more personal with you, man. Instead of outside of a little football, we're going to talk a little personal with you, all right? We'll be back on Mind Your Business Podcast. Stay with us.
They're everywhere. Your yard, your kitchen, your bedroom. Invading your home and property, spreading disease, and destroying everything in their path. If you don't act, they'll multiply, crawling ever closer to you and your family. The only thing they fear is the web. Nelon-Cole Termite and Pest Control. Call today for their new service special and save $25. Bugs, beware of the web.
Welcome back to Mind Your Business Podcast. Again, if you're a Cleveland County native, this is the podcast you want to be listening to. And if you love football, we've had it all for you tonight. Coach Lloyd and Coach Wilbanks and Lan Farmer and Ely Hamrick from the Shelby High School and Crest Chargers. 2 state champions in one county. Awesome stuff. Doesn't happen often, but man, when it does, it brings the community together, and we are thrilled to be presenting this podcast. Lan, we want to get you in for one more segment, man, before you head out. It's a segment that we like to call Rapid Fire. I have nothing to do with these questions, so don't get mad at me. This is all Bart.
Well, I just want to let you know, our thousands and thousands of followers want to know more about who you are. So I come up with these questions just to give them a little insight on to who you are. Now, I asked Eli the same questions.
Okay.
So there's no variation. What is the better football movie? Friday Night Lights, The Gridiron Gang, Varsity Blues, Radio, Jerry Maguire, or Remember the Titans?
Remember the Titans, for sure.
Ooh, Remember the Titans.
No,
That's a good one.
that is a good one. It's hard to beat that one.
After you get your first big NIL deal, would you be more likely to purchase a Lamborghini, Ferrari, Corvette, jacked up 4x4, or all of the above?
4x4 probably. Yeah. If I bought a car, it'd be 4x4.
That is what I'm talking about.
I think if you thought it would have been opposite. I thought Eli would have said the 4x4, but he said the Lamborghini.
Yeah.
So
The 4x4, yeah.
those are nice. Do you look to have a career in football at some level in the future, even if you don't play beyond college?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, football's my passion, so I definitely want to keep it going. So
even if it's coaching or anything?
Yeah, I think my dad's telling me he thinks I'd be a great coach. So I think I'll probably coach at some point in my life.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think you got a foot in somewhere, like Black and Gold.
Which of these songs could we likely find on your playlist? Another One Bites the Dust by Queen, I'm the Problem by Morgan Wallen, Nice to Meet You by Miles Smith, or Bad Blood by Taylor Swift?
Wow.
Probably.
Wow.
Probably On the Problem by Morgan Wallen.
Wow, nice. I like it. I like it.
I'm the reason. All right. When you're not winning state titles, what would we more likely find you doing? Playing around a golf, bow hunting for deer, deep sea fishing, cliff diving, or pulling for the Clemson Tigers, or playing Uno?
Playing golf and pulling for the Clemson Tigers at the same time.
Nice.
I like the Uno answer.
That was not one of the options for Eli. What are we talking about right now? Some Uno.
He threw an Uno reverse on it.
Yeah, he did.
Who's your favorite NFL quarterback, past or present?
Patrick Mahomes.
Very game-like Patrick here.
Patrick
I mean,
Mahomes.
honestly.
Yeah, probably him.
The way he
like
innovates.
MVP, Cam Newton. I just like the way he played. He had no fear.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's kind of the way I ran this year. So
Unless we're talking about 2015 in the Super Bowl, we didn't recover the fumble.
Oh yeah, nah. I made sure I didn't perform. Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
When a team wins the state, do you guys like form a special bond or fraternity that you just kind of carry with you? Think you'll carry with you for years? And is there something special about
Do you
that?
have a state champion house? Like the Heisman house?
But I mean, state championship is definitely a memory we'll have. But I feel like every football team, every year, especially the way we've been playing the past few years, I feel like I got a bond with every team I've had. But having that state championship definitely brings a memory and a closeness that not every team does have. So.
Nice. How big of an influence at the high school level is both positive and negative social media, and how do you deal with it?
Positively is, I mean, when you get the good jobs and celebratory I had after state, lately. So.
But when you start out and people are banging on you, I mean, how do you guys deal with that?
I mean, those games you just
come in and say, "Hey guys,
yeah, you kind of
rat poison, leave it all."
Yeah,
rat poison.
That's what he says all the time. You kind of rely on your teammates, rely on your coaches, family, faith. I mean, you don't really pay attention to it. I don't really pay attention to much social media, what people got to say about me either way, because I know who I am. I know what kind of player I am. But It feels good when you have some people cheering you on. So,
if you could play for any NFL team, quarterback, what team would it be?
If I had to go fit for me, it'd probably be the Bills.
The Bills?
Yeah.
You know the Josh Allen. I can see that.
Yeah, I feel like
I can see that.
I'd probably to the Bills.
That's a great answer. That's a great answer.
What advice would you give to next year's team to repeat?
I'd have to say have fun and trust Coach Wilbanks, trust the coaches, and trust, because we got a very good coaching staff.
Trust the program, the process.
But also trust each other. I mean, I feel like you can't have a championship winning team if you don't have a connection and chemistry within the team. So hang out with each other outside of school and build a connection with all the players and know everybody. Stay close.
The next question: do you have an agent yet?
Nah, I don't. My dad's my agent.
Okay.
My dad's my agent.
I know a guy.
No.
Yeah, my dad's an agent.
That's the second time you're trying to fish your way into getting some more money, Bart.
Bart knows somebody in Lattimore.
My goodness.
I think you've already answered my next question. I said I was going to ask you, if you didn't play at the college level, what occupation do you think you would have other than a career in football? But sounds like you're going to stay in the football.
Yeah, I think I'll coach eventually. I think right out of college, if I'm not playing football, I'll probably do either, depends on what I choose, I'll probably try to do some architecture type stuff or try to do a business with my dad and then do a little bit of real estate, try to do a few things at the same time. So.
Smart.
Yeah.
Not having all your eggs in one basket, man.
Yeah,
That's
I think I'm going to do.
Last question. Would you rather be lucky or good?
Both. I'll take both.
You didn't put parameters on that question. My man went the smart route.
Well, speaking of being good, you guys both had great seasons, and we have a little something special for you guys, and Keith is going to bring it out.
Yeah, so on behalf of Nelon-Cole, this is the Nelon-Cole Termite and Pest Control. Nelon-Cole Moisture and Water is what sponsors this Mind Your Business podcast. We got a little something, a little more hardware. It's a little better than the state championship. Going to be better than that ring. I'm telling you that right now.
Yes,
but
sir.
Keith Nealon's going to present to you right now.
Farmer,
Thank
MVP, state championship, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate all you've done.
Yes, sir.
Contributed to the team. Use your Nelon-Cole hat.
Thank you.
There you go.
Wearing that on game.
Yeah, when you're on ESPN, you say, whenever you're on signing day, just bring out Nelon-Cole hat, just flip it off for a second. It might be worth some NIL money, too.
Sure.
We got the Coach of the Year here, Mr. Wilbanks. It all starts at the top, man. And you've done a great job. I know everybody in Cleveland County.
Appreciate it. All.
We got to move this helmet up just a picture.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
We got another.
Lord, don't get covered up.
Yeah, we got another man, myth, and legend right here.
We definitely got a couple here in Cleveland County.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, we appreciate everything y'all contribute.
Yes,
Thank
sir. I
y'all. Appreciate y'all for all you do. Thank you.
Yeah, 100%. We're going to take one more break, and then we'll get back with Coach Wilbanks to finish up the podcast. Lan, congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Great high school career, brother.
Yeah.
And you finished it off on top, state champion. Can't ask for any better, man.
All I got to say, guys, If anybody ain't signed, you better be coming after this man.
Absolutely.
You're missing out if you don't get this man. That's all I'm
You are missing out.
You're missing a winner. You're missing a winner. Gardner Webb, what's up with you? Lan.
Gardner Webb, we're talking about Indiana, Ohio State,
Anybody?
Michigan.
Oh, okay. I'm just trying to help the program
Dabo,
here.
if you're
Behind
listening, shoot me a text. I got a guy.
Josh Heupel, you listening? We need a guy.
Yeah.
But Lan, seriously, man, congratulations on a great career, great season, way to finish out on top, stand-up character.
Thank you.
That's the one thing too. I want to get that in before we let you go. As much as you are on the field, a great athlete, great player, I hear so much about you off the field, with your academics, with your character, with how you treat other players, your peers at school, your relationship, your faith, all of that stuff. I mean, just an all-around great guy, man. And I know Coach Wilbanks has got nothing but great stuff to say. Before he heads out, would you like to give? I know you've had many conversations with Lan throughout his career, but while we're here on the podcast, would you like to give any final words to him?
Gonna miss you. And I've said this to a lot of reporters, but I'm happy that you got to do all the things, the records, the state championship, all that stuff. I'm glad that you got to do all that and leading Shelby High School. I know that was a goal of yours coming in, and I'm just happy to see players achieve their goals, and extremely proud and happy for you. And I know you're going to do great things.
Appreciate that, Coach.
You set the bar awful high.
Yeah.
There may be some others that don't achieve their goals because of you, but
we got a good one coming up with Cruz. So
Yeah.
100%.
we lost the light.
Wow.
That's a $600 light, Bart.
With that, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to let Lan get out of here. Good luck in your basketball season as
Thank
well,
you.
man.
Thank
Coach Wilbanks, we're going to have you back for one more segment. Stay with us. We're going to get this light fixed that Bart just broke $600. This is Mind Your Business Podcast.
God, don't quit. I don't know.
Welcome back to Mind Your Business Podcast. We are glad you stuck with us. We are wrapping it up. This is our last segment, Mark. Last one. Last one. Not of the year. Not of the year. We're going to be back.
Got you.
Yeah, we're going to be back. We're going to be back. But we're just going to wrap it up with you, Coach. I mean, I hope you've listened to the whole podcast because there's been some great conversations. Starting with Coach Lloyd and Eli, and then with you, Coach Wilbanks and Lan. Just two remarkable seasons, finishing off with two state champions and championships in one county. I mean, if you're a part of Cleveland County, you got to be excited. Cleveland County football, Keith, you've said this in the last part with Coach Lloyd. Cleveland County football is really second to none in the state of North Carolina, I believe. There's just so much talent here. There's so much potential. There's so much tradition. There's so much rivalry. You talk about the Crest Shelby game. There's so much brotherhood there. Brothers playing against brothers sometimes, cousins and cousins. I mean, you talk about the bragging rights and all the fun that goes into that. And then to have that kind of rival, and you guys both win the state championship in 2025 is something to be proud of. And we want to kind of finish out the last bit of the segment talking about the season at a glance from your perspective and what the future of Shelby High School football looks like.
Well, first, I want to just say that, I know I get a lot of publicity or notoriety, the Coach of the Year thing. But I tell you, you don't get there without I got a great coaching staff. I mean, I got a bunch of men who sacrifice a lot of time away from their families on Sunday afternoon. All summer we're going places, and just Coach Emery, offensive coordinator, Coach Barkley, defensive coordinator, and all the way down to position coaches, Coach Dunaway, offensive line, and Coach Hollifield, D-line, and Coach Collins at wide receiver, Coach Scott, running backs, Coach Baldry, linebackers, Coach Eskridge, Coach Davis, Coach Raper with the secondary, and then they do a lot. I mean, they work with these guys and they get to know these guys, and then it takes a lot of support guys too. You got guys who help take stuff to a game, or laundry, or equipment, or we got team moms who feed us. I got a great principal who works with me on getting kids into weight. Now we're going to start weightlifting tomorrow for the 2026 season. I mean, it's already here, and So just, and then you got to have some guys on the field who can do what you want to do. And I believe that, there's a lot of truth in, good players make good coaches. And so we've had some really good ones. And so I'm fortunate to be where I am. And I've got a lot of good people around me and got a great community. Coach in a great county. There's a lot of competition. People care. You go some places in the state and, people don't care if you win or lose. They don't even know who you played. And so, it's just a really good situation to be in. I'm just really fortunate and really blessed to be part of it.
Coach, how exhausting is it to go through a 16-game season? That's an NFL season.
Yeah.
Colleges don't even play that many games.
It is really exhausting. And, you take 16 games, but then you got a bye week.
Yeah.
So that's the 17th week. Well, then you got 2 weeks before the season, before your first game, before you even get to the first week. So now you're in 19 weeks.
Scrimmages, yeah.
Right. It's so then you got the week before the Jamboree starts. So you're right at about 20 weeks. It's about a 5-month grind. And it's every day. And it's every day after school, and it's every Sunday. And even when you're not up there working, it's on your mind. You're thinking about it, or you're getting a call or a text from a player or a mom, or something's going on. This kid's got this going on, and you never can really relax. And but it's good. It's worth it. I think I think God puts us in certain places to be around certain people and make an impact. And I kind of take it like a pastor would of his church. I got all these things that come at me throughout the season, but I think I'm where I'm supposed to be. But yeah, when we finish that state championship game, I look forward to that next week. Not thinking, not doing anything, just kind of you just kind of got to decompress for a little bit.
How long did it take for you to really process the state championship win? Obviously you're in the moment. You get bombarded right at the end of the game with the press conference of winning the state title. But was there a moment where you're maybe in that decompressed week where you're sitting there on a Wednesday afternoon and you're like, "Holy crap, we did it! This team did it."
Well, I tell you. And I know we don't want to go long, but my wife, Lori, she's a big supporter. She helps me out a lot, and she's kind of my sounding board. And we pray. We pray every morning. And it's funny because, you pray and you ask God for stuff, and, he's not a genie in a bottle, but you take your concerns to him. And I'm like, God, we've made it. We're here this week. We're here to the state championship, God, and I know wins and losses may not matter to you, but I really would like to win. I really would like to win. But
if you could have
it, right. But it's funny. It's kind of like Lori and I. We talk all the time how God has blessed us, and my point is that God was kind of like, a win is that all? You're getting ready to score 84 points, so. To go back to your question, I kind of get on the bus afterwards, and I'm just on the bus ride home. It's just me and God talking. I'm like, and you just showed off. Wow. I'm talking to you about a state champion. Yeah, and then you go and you let us score 84. Who would have? If you'd have told me, "Hey, y'all gonna score 84 points," I'd have been like, "Ain't no way, you're crazy." 84 points in the state championship.
We might not score 84 points combined.
Yeah. And. But all that, man, it just I don't know. It sometimes I still got to think, yeah, we won the state championship. But I just wanted to give a lot of credit to Lori. She does a lot to let me be gone a lot.
Well, you're pretty much married to your second wife, which is football, for 5 months out of the year.
Yeah,
and she has to accept that.
And I tell you, we have the seniors over a few times a year. She cooks for them, and once we get to a certain round in the playoffs, they love these these cookie bar brownie things that she makes, and they love them. So they know we have a playoff party every Monday. I don't know if y'all know that or not. Coach Taylor started that tradition. He said, if you're in the playoffs, you should enjoy it. You should have a party. And so every Monday after practice. I didn't know
that. That's awesome.
Yeah, every Monday after practice, it starts off with just donuts and chips and some peanuts and a drink, but every week you add something. So by the time you get to the state championship game, it's a donut, a chocolate chip cookie, the cookie bar, a peanut butter cookie, an ice cream sandwich,
That's a nice tradition.
and some Christmas candy and a soda. Your sugar just
you so eat it right for the game.
Oh man, but it's just one of those fun traditions that Shelby has. And but going back to Lori, they look forward to her coming up there. She'll fix the plates and interact with them. So I appreciate her doing all she does for me and the program.
Just a kind of side note about your wife, Lori. I mean, we know what kind of lady she is because Keith's kids, my kids, they go to Springmore, and we miss her dearly.
She misses it.
She's awesome. Kids, she was awesome while she was there, so we know just the type of lady and woman that she has. And going back to your story about your faith in God and how important that is to you, and I think that's just a testament of just how awesome that culture is at Shelby High School. A lot of people don't get the behind the scene, look behind the curtain and see what all goes on. And not just the 5 months of the season, but the summer ball. Like you said, tomorrow starts the 2026 season. Yeah. It really does, the campaign and the weightlifting. But to hear you tell that story, I got goosebumps because you were praying like, God, I want to win. And God's like, just a win? Yeah. I'm going to put you in a history-making game. Yeah. I'm going to break records with this game. I'm going to do this. And, I mean, that just kind of humbles you a little bit and says, our God is bigger than what we can ever imagine. Oh, yeah. So I appreciate you sharing that story. I really do. I want to talk a little bit. We did this with Coach Lloyd. I played football all the way up until I was in middle school. Here we go. You gotta hear it again. Yeah. And I stopped and I wrestled. I decided to wrestle instead of.
Just get good.
Yeah, that's what they keep saying. That's what they keep saying. But
spiritual immorality.
But the one thing
he liked the spandex. He enjoyed the spandex and wrestling.
Oh man, step out on the mat. I'll tell any football player to get on the mat for 6 minutes and see what happens.
I could have been state champ.
I could have won 2 state championships in football. I really could have. Yeah, I would have. They won back to back my junior senior year.
Without you?
How did they do it? I don't know. Travis Padgett, Marche Lilliton. That's how they did it.
Really good.
Yeah. We talked about the final practice. Like, you never know what that final practice is going to be unless you're in a state championship game.
That's a fun thing.
Talk about that final practice that you know.
That is a lot of fun because you go in each week in the playoffs. You're like, man, what if it's the last game? If it's the last game, we got to go back, take our helmets up, and people are crying and upset. And but when you get that state championship game, it's your last practice, and we do a tradition. Another little tradition. This is a little bit newer, but Lance started this. I think he got it from like Harvard or somebody. But on our last practice on the state championship week, the seniors, they do a walk around the field, and like the underclassmen line up, and they kind of walk by them and talk, and the seniors have a chance to kind of reflect, and they come down and they get a chance to speak to each coach, and each coach gets to embrace them and share a moment with them. So that last practice is a lot of fun, and then because it's your last practice, and it's your last game, so we're going to take the helmets up after the game, we're going to do this after the game, and we know as coaches we're not coming in on Sunday. We have this Sunday we're going to be off, and
we'll sleep in.
We're going to sleep in, and so it's fun to know that your last game is your last game that season. It has a little bit different vibe to it, and most people probably don't understand that. But when you're in the playoffs, you're like, man, I'm playing for next week.
Yeah.
But then when you get to the last game, you're like, well, this is it, and it's that Western Finals game. I would say I've been in a lot of those, and those are fun after the game in regards to you can stay on the field as long as you want. Like at the state championship game, it's fun to win it. Don't get me wrong, but they rush you off.
I'll do that.
Man, it's like you got to go because we had to get off the field because Crest had to get in there.
The next game's coming. Yeah, right.
So you can't just stay out there and take pictures with everybody and get to talk to everybody. So that Western Finals game is a little bit different in that regard, is that you get to hang out as long as you want. Now, Lincoln was ready for us to go, I'm sure.
Go back to Cleveland County.
Yeah, but when we do it at home, especially, we'll stand out there for hours.
Get these guys on.
When we do it at home.
Yeah.
Now, did y'all get to stay over and watch the Crest game?
No, we didn't. No, we went ahead and got on the road and head on back. We pulled it up on our phones. We were watching it on the bus.
But it's like a home game for Cleveland County.
Oh
state.
man, it was
between the.
And I tell
Shelby
you,
fans
and I
Crest
tell you,
fans.
the state takes a lot of flack, but I will tell you that Durham.
That's the same thing Lloyd said.
It was a great facility.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't a college experience that kids probably want, but it was easy to get in and out of. The stadium was big enough that it looked full. The locker rooms were easily accessible. Sidelines were great. I mean, I thought it was a great facility for a state championship game.
That same thing Coach Lloyd said.
That's exactly what he said.
Yeah. And just for your information, Coach Lloyd and them were watching your game on the way to Durham. He mentioned that. So just an all-around cool experience.
Yeah. When they knew it to put more pressure on them.
I asked Coach Lloyd. I said, when you found out.
I'm glad we went first.
I asked Coach Lloyd, I said, after you found out that Shelby won when you get to the facility,
84.
was that more pressure? He's like, well, we want to win no matter what, but not a little bit, for sure. So, well, Coach, I mean, Bart's got a couple questions for you rapid fire, and we'll get you out of here. I know you've had a long day, but
Well, before he starts the rapid fire, one thing I want to say, Coach, is just over years getting to know you, I guess things that impressed me the most, and just in hearing your players, the faith in God, I know that title, everybody thinks that's what it's about, but I don't think for you that's what it's about.
No.
I mean, I think a lot of people will say, well, sports as a Christian, ain't good. I think you exemplify Christ in everything you do.
Yeah.
And your ministries in everything you do.
Mm-hmm.
And what I've seen you take at Crest High School and take your ministry to these young men, that's impressed me more than any state championship you've ever.
Oh, Shelby High School.
Shelby High School. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
There we
Shelby
go.
High School. Shelby High School. What you've
That would have been a
done,
mission trip.
that's impressed me.
I appreciate
that. The boys you've probably led to Christ and their future more than any state titles. I mean, it's amazing the state titles that's come out of Shelby.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah.
that impresses me more than anything. That what you set these boys for the future is a lot more than that. And I just want to tell you that.
I appreciate that.
And I know a lot of people might see it the opposite, but I just think it's, for me, what sports done, and what a ministry it can be too.
Definitely. I think, our young men, they get to, it's nice for me. I tell them all the time, in 10 years, you come back and you're a husband and a dad, you're contributing to society, maybe you've accepted Christ or whatever. That's what I want to see. I want to win. I want to win them. I want to win them all.
That's the ultimate championship.
Right, but I want to, and I've had some players who we've had in the past. They come back and they're doing well, and they still got a Bible that I gave them. Jakari Shell, who works for KTC. I don't know if you ever see Jakari. He played at Gardner Webb, but he came by the other day and he's like, "Man, I still got the Bible, and Coach, you did this," and he's gotten baptized and everything. So it's cool stuff. I enjoy what I do, and I appreciate those kind of words. Thank you.
Well, one thing I was more impressed with, the two high school guys we had here today about their character than I was about their stats or their play.
Yeah.
Both of them showed, their character is unquestionable. I mean, those are two top-notch.
Well, it should have the family they come from.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the influence they're under.
And I bet that's where the devil's attacking families.
Oh yeah. That's the breakdown.
He wants to take the families out.
That's right.
That's
right. And Lan has a 4.5.
Yeah.
I know Eli probably has a high GPA. I think he's a sharp kid too, but I know Lan has a 4.5 GPA.
That's
I've
something
had
else.
Knowing Lan's father.
Yeah, I heard you talking about
Lan
that.
he's man.
Yeah, what a great family. Yeah,
Absolutely.
All right.
Justin level GPA there, isn't it, Justin?
That's absolutely right. Yeah. 4.5.
Very impressive young man. And
Take
like
a
I said,
point away.
He needs to be. He's a special.
Yeah.
He will. Somebody be lucky to get him.
Getting a winner for sure.
I hope somebody somewhere's listening to it. He
too.
deserves it. If anybody does, that boy's gonna do some special stuff.
Yes, sir. 100%. All right, Coach Wilbanks. You didn't get out of this.
All right,
but we only got 5 questions for you.
Only 5 questions tonight. Rapid fire. In your opinion, we kind of touched on this a little bit ago about the playing game. Are there too many teams invited to the state playoffs? Should there be more or less teams, in your opinion?
I think there's too many.
I almost agree with you. That's why I asked that.
I thought when we went to 8 classifications, I thought we were going to shrink the number of playoff games because we already went to 10 regular season games, which I'm fine with 10. I would like to see maybe the 4th or 5th round be the state championship.
That's what I'm thinking too.
And the other thing people don't realize, and I gotta deal with as the AD also, is when football spills over to basketball.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
From Thanksgiving on, I'm trying to reschedule basketball games because half my basketball team's playing football. That's right.
Yep.
So I definitely think there's too many teams in, too many games.
If you had to have a cold, quick breakfast, would you be more likely to eat a bowl of Captain Crunch, a strawberry Pop-Tart with icing, a pack of crackers, or a granola bar?
That's a tough one.
Probably a pack of peanut butter crackers. Probably.
That's your cereal.
Yeah.
I thought you
Chocolate milk or white milk?
I don't ever have milk. I don't even have milk at the house.
Oh, no. I got to have my milk with my crackers. Yeah.
Free.
That's great. It's great.
Dabo reach out to you for the offensive coordinator job before hiring Chad Morris back?
No, he wouldn't reach out to me anyway. He'd reach out to my offensive coordinator. He's the one that. No, he didn't reach out to me. But I'm excited about Chad Morris. I hope that turns out to be good for them.
I hope so. I'm still not convinced yet, but it can't be any worse. What intangibles besides the awesome hardware will you take with you from this year that you'll cherish? I'm sure there's tons of them, but
I would tell you that about this time last year, I met with some of the seniors in Lan. I met with them individually, and Lan said, we got to do more to kind of facilitate the camaraderie and the chemistry of the team. So we did some things. We'd done some stuff in the past, but I made sure I was more intentional with it. I would just take from this team their togetherness through thick and thin, and just the way they stayed the course and the way they didn't flinch. That's kind of Coach Reisert's motto over at Gardner Webb before he left. But they just stayed the course and just fought to the end and trusted the process. And I just appreciate them sticking with it, and it paid off. So hopefully, when we start tomorrow, next year's team will see that process pays off.
So this is the ending podcast and the beginning podcast, technically.
That's right.
For the season.
You don't get much of a break, do you?
Nah.
Back at it.
Yep.
Well, Coach, we're going to let you get out of here. We're going to wrap it up on the Mind Your Business podcast, but we appreciate your time, appreciate your faith, your leadership, your contributions to the community. All of that, and congratulations again on another state title for Shelby High School.
Appreciate y'all having me. It's a lot of fun. It's always fun.
Awesome game to be a part of. Awesome game to watch on TV. So we've had fun. Alan, had a good time?
Yes, indeed.
Bart, good time?
Dancing on the ceiling.
Keith, good time? Absolutely. I hope you've enjoyed it. Like I said, if you've a Cleveland County native, this is the podcast you need to listen to. 2 state champions from one county. Doesn't get any better than that.
Who's got it better than we do?
Nobody.
Bring your popcorn and lounge chair if you're going to watch it. Yeah. We got a little long-winded on this one.
Yeah. So be a part of it. Join us. We'll be back for more podcasts. But until then, have a great night or good morning or good afternoon, whenever you're watching this. We glad you are. This is Mind Your Business Podcast. See you later.